Good evening and welcome to Sunday night, which only means one thing. It's the FBL Radical Endurance Championship for round 3, live from the Red Bull Ring. I am James Parfitt, and tonight I am joined in the booth by the one and only Dean Biggles, who's joined me tonight, who's jumped in at the last minute and helped me out, as Tyler has unfortunately taken foul to the dreaded vaccine that he's had and has put him out of action this evening. But we are here from round 3 at the Red Bull Ring, and after last Friday's Sprint Championship, we are in for an absolutely epic evening of racing. Track length currently 4.28 kilometers, and the temperature currently in Austria, in Spielberg, is currently 29 degrees centigrade. So let's bring Dean into the booth this evening. Dean, how are you, young sir?
G'day, g'day.
How are you? Welcome in. Thank you for standing in at the last minute there, sir.
Not a problem. Absolutely fantastic to come in here. And one of those classic tracks, isn't it? Spielberg, mate. It's short and sweet. Just 10 of those. 12 of those turns, aren't they? Yeah. 2 of those to your lefts. Only 2 lefties, mate. And all the rest on the right hands.
Yeah, it's going to be an absolutely epic evening, mate. We've got about 90 minutes of endurance races. Races on track this evening is going to give it their all, and with 2 mandatory pit stops, it's definitely going to be one. It's going to be an interesting one here.
Yeah, mandatory pit stops about a minute and change too for those pit stops to get a bit of splash and dash, some fresh boots and stuff like that. So that's going to cost you a bit of time. At the moment, we have practice sessions still, of course, mate. But there's how many drivers are expecting? Probably around 20 to 20 and 30 drivers.
Yeah, 70? We've got 23 currently on track this evening, so that's going to be an absolutely epic one. There is Colin Wynn has jumped in chat and said, "Oh my God, who's that? Is that Nathan Brumby?" No, this is Mr. Biggles himself, who's jumped in at the last minute to help me out, as Tyler, as I say, has had his booster and is not feeling all that great. So it's young Biggles this evening has joined me in the booth, and yeah, he's going to join me for the 90 minutes. So guys, we have got the championship standings available for you, so we can show you who the current leader is in the championship, and that currently is held by Mr. Dennis Kiriakopoulos on 101 points. John McHutchinson there on 95, Eric Hanoi on 90, Marco Tolman on 73, Stefan Scheen on 70. Then we've got Graham Brown on 60, Nia Gluskic on 59, David Walters on 44, Daniele Cascado on 40, Paul Clark on 32, he's tied with Francesco Caschino, who's also on 32, Alphonse Ruiz on 12, Damien G on 13, Martin Spoek on 30, he's on 30 as well, tied with Damien G, David Rolliston on 28. Then we got Gary Truby on 22, Miles Owens on 21, Frederick Rizadic on 19, David Lawson on 17, and Colin Wynn on 17. Our very own Colin there rounding out our top 20. Now obviously, guys, as well, we've had some changes to the rules. Qualifying is now going to be 15 minutes or 7 laps. That was due to the so we haven't got so many cars on track. Now also, Biggles, as well, I believe we've got 22x limit this evening before the cars are going to get a drive-through.
Yeah, that's going to be very interesting too, because you can. Well, I know from the Formula 1 aspect. Sorry, I'm not that familiar with these cars. I know the track, but you can go off. You do go off the track a lot with the excursions in Formula 1. So I can imagine if they do push the track limits around here in Spielberg, then you may very well be getting some of those drivers approaching those.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a very close one tonight, because even though it's 22, but if you get a couple of contacts in that and a few off tracks, it's gonna put you in a drive-through, isn't it? You know, they've got to be careful, and they do have 90 minutes.
Absolutely, you got to be careful, of course. And whilst you're still concentrating and trying to put in your absolutely blisteringly fastest laps all the time consistently, or managing your car, managing your tires, damage as well. They got 3 fast repairs, so that's not too much of a problem of having to spend too much time. Of course, still it is pit lane time to get those repairs polished out pretty quickly. With a bit of the duct tape, of course, done instantly. But at that time, generally, you're going to get some fresh boots and Probably just tires, mate, but I'm not quite sure about extra fuel.
Yeah, they generally will use, they've got to carry extra fuel right the way through to the end. Obviously, you know, most people will take fuel on the first one and then on the second one, but we have had some interesting tactics from John McHutchinson, who basically went in one of the races and literally filled right up, and he went to the end, and then his mandatory second stop, which they do have to take as well 10 minutes before the end, that he basically just went in, got touched up, and left again. So basically that was about as much as they need to do on the second stop, really, and I think that's going to play a big part. Strategy itself is going to play a big part.
Just looking at the stream just to make sure it's all okay out there. If it's getting any jittery and stuff like that, we'll try to get that sorted out, because we do have some new goodies this evening for you. Perhaps we have a little bit of picture-in-picture action, but we'll have to double confirm that should be all good.
Yeah.
Try to capture more angles to keep an eye on all the battles that are occurring.
Yeah, it should be an interesting one. New things trying this evening as well, so enhancing your viewing pleasure in for the FBL YouTube community there. And I think, you know, at the end of the day, it's going to enhance it, isn't it, Biggles?
Yep, it certainly will be. Sorry, apologies. I'm just trying to adjust some of the stuff here.
That's all right. You carry on as we see David Rolliston from Moving Matters here. Currently in 11th place in practice on a 128. We've got about just over 5 minutes remaining before we jump into qualifying as well. So the guys are going to have to be careful in qualifying, because they will only have 15 minutes or 7 laps, and that's to basically withhold some of the track so they can get a clear bit of track at some points as well, because it has been quite manic so far in the championship with an open qualifying session. People being all involved and all in the mix with each other. So now we've limited to basically the 7 laps, so they're going to have to find space as well on that one. And then, you know, I think at the end of the day, you know, qualifying is important for these guys. You know, they all generally fairly get away at the start, fairly clean. We saw it in the sprint race on Friday there, Biggles. And, you know, I think that's going to be an important part, getting that start and managing to almost stay alive for the first couple of laps.
So yeah, that's exactly right. So that means qualifying is going to be one of those key here. And we're looking at in the practice session as well, too, of a time of about a 1:24.8 so far that Andrew's set. And obviously those times will tumble a little bit more during the qualifying session. You got a time all the way down to the 26s currently there from those other drivers. So a couple of drivers still yet to set some times.
Yeah, we've got Gary Truby, last man, set a time on a 1:26.9. Colin Wynn from Moving Matters, he's currently on track there. Marco Tolman is another one that hasn't set times at the moment, but I'm sure he will be, and I'm sure he'll be ready to go in about 3 minutes for qualifying. So, you know, I always find tracks like this, though, because, you know, iRacing in general do set their track limits quite tight, you know, and Red Bull is one of them circuits where the track limits are set really tightly, aren't they? And you know, as I say, with a 22x limit, these guys are going to have to be drastically careful.
Yeah, I know it from the Formula One game that this is usually one of those tracks that get a lot of punishments for those time penalties, that can come down and definitely hurt you. In this case, obviously, you have a drive-through, and that will definitely hurt you if you're racing at the level of competition that we're expecting to see from these gladiators very soon, actually, for the qualifying. Yeah, but as you mentioned there as well, we got a 15-minute qualifying session.
Yeah, they got 15 minutes or 7 laps, and we've got about 2 minutes until they hit that. So, you know, look, they've got time to get out on track, get a little bit warmed up. If you are here, guys, as well, don't forget, for the first time, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bells for all the notifications, and don't forget to hit that thumbs up. That is vitally important. And don't forget, we have got the Sprint Championships coming up from Nords, and we've got the Endurance from Brands as well. So stay awake and make sure the bells are on, because you don't want to miss any of this action. And if the Friday Sprint is anything to go by, tonight's race, well, that's just going to go off in a completely different manner with a we've got 24 cars on track now. So 24 cars running around this 4 kilometre track, Biggles. You know, it's going to be an interesting one, isn't it?
It's gonna get crazy. You can see there on the track map currently on the top right-hand side how many of those dots are there, and we've still got a bunch of them in the pit lane. So yeah, it's navigating back markers essentially is gonna be something. It's kind of like, you know, a situation where, you know, well, I was gonna say like Monaco or something like that, but it's not, isn't it? When they get blue flagged waved across, and you do get blue flags actually as we're getting the. As you get lapped cars, but you're still got to do the right thing. And remember, they're also in their battle with their other drivers that are around them, so they're going to make sure that they do allow the faster cars through, but at the same time, not actually lose too much time themselves to the other battles that they're having.
Exactly, and that's going to be the important one. John McHutchinson, hey guys, hey, welcome into you, young sir. Thank you so much for joining us. This evening, John, you are currently in the session, John, as well. So, you know, you've only got about 5 seconds left till you do qualifying. So, as lovely as it is to have you even here, please pay attention, because we don't want you to miss qualifying, John, because at the end of the day, you're normally up at the fast end, and that would be the shame if you're watching us here and you miss qualifying. So we are literally just heading in to qualifying shortly. As we said, guys, it is a very short track. You've got about 7 or 8 corners if you count the motorbike corner on the way up to Remus as a corner, Biggles. That is on the high contentious list on whether or not the run up into turn 2 is the uphill left before you get to turn 2 a corner, or is it just a kink in the straight?
It's a kink. It's a kink, yeah. It's because it's always been turn 3 up the top, right? That's a great overtaking opportunities. You should see quite a few of them this evening. Turn 4, of course, that's a little bit further down. But you see how they don't count the kink between 3 and 4, but yet they count the kink between. Well, it's just basically so that like, you have a limited number of corners. I think you have to have for a track anyway. Yeah. For it to be a certain class. So yeah, that is what it is. Otherwise, you can get to a point where you can call it an oval.
Oh, yeah.
Even though it's not, of course. Yeah, g'day. Yeah, John out there as, well, if you want to pick somebody to go on board with the qualifying session, this is a open qualifying, so they all have to ballot. Oh, there's spin at the moment, and who was that?
That's Daniele Cascado just going round from Team Made there. He's gone round currently as well. As we see Miles Owens currently racing round the circuit here as on the track currently as well. So Miles Owen is doing the business currently at the moment. He's out on track trying to get his lap in. He's just on his out lap there, Biggles.
Yeah, get your out lap warm up, lap done, get the tyre temperature in there and get ready for a couple of flying laps, of course, because, you know, these tyres are much more durable to do a couple as you're going to start seeing those first times tumbling in. I was just wondering if we pick a driver soon, if you want to go on board with and kind of give us a bit of a lap guide.
Yeah, we can jump on board now with the one and only Miles Owens there. He is currently out on the track, so we can jump on board the inside of the car with Miles there. Look at how sexy, look at that. He's looking good as we just have a look here. And there you go, as we're heading up into Remus. Coming into turn 2. But this was the contentious corner last time, as we can see it there. They were going round in first, and we had Glenn Anders Christensen taking that corner in second, because there was a lot of spinners in that one, on that corner up the top of the hill. But you can see it now, we're heading down into Sloshko. Down we go through the gears, second gear, and around we go there on track. We got, there's Ray Peasley and David Tamira in front of us as well. So they, that was close, David Tamira. Around.
Got traffic all around him as well too, exactly. He's got a traffic behind him. You can even pull up that picture if you want to, and I can show you the rear camera at the same time. It actually fits right over the top right-hand corner of that too. So.
Now there is the rear camera of the car that we're currently on, which is the one and only Miles Owens there as well, as he's heading around the start-finish line. Let's see what time Miles gets. Did he manage to stay on track? Got a bit sort of jeopardised there, so I think he's going to go again. Currently in third on a 1:27.03. So you can see the picture at the top, in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. that shows the rear wing of Miles Owens. We're going to see him race up to the back of Ray Peasley. And let's see how this one materializes, Biggles. Let's see, maybe, you know, we can have a little spin cam and see if there goes Ray Peasley.
There it is, actually behind him, and right on cue. That's how it's just. Yeah, it was trying to, that was Peasley, wasn't it? It's just, I'm not quite sure. Yeah, exactly. As some of those times are coming in at the moment there. Paul Crabb has grabbed that top one. Sorry, no puns intended, of course.
Yeah, Paul Crabb on a 125.91. Normally at the fast end, him, Mike Bousson, John McHutchinson here will really sort of push each other all the way through. So it's going to be an interesting one from them guys. Miles Owens has gone again, Biggles, which is what we expected, because he did get kind of compromised on his first one.
Absolutely. I could go to the nose cam for you if you like, and you can show the external. That way we could flip it around there so we can see where he's going and starting another lap right now. But across the line, bang. What was his time on that one? P3?
126.14.
Yeah.
143. So a nice time for Miles Owens there. As we see the sector times at the bottom of the screen. We're going to jump over. We've got Paul Crabb. Paul Crabb has just gone across the line. He's just taken the pole on a 125.39. So, Paul Crabb there doing the business on a 125.39. Currently setting the pace. Not by much so. So, he's got about 700ths of a second over Mike Bousson. So, that's going to be an interesting one. As we see these guys jumping into the 125s the first time. And I think that's going to be round about where Pole is, young sir.
I'd have to say so, yeah. That's the thing. As the track does evolve, generally you find in iRacing, it doesn't tend to be the last man across the line gets the quickest time, necessarily. As Mr. David Rollstone.
Yep.
Rollerstone slips up to P4. Sorry, I'm new to some of these names, and I'm always a Biggles butcher, Dean Biggles butcher of drivers' names. Unfortunately, I'm just notorious for that.
Yeah, no,
especially it looks like there's a Greek name there of Dennis as well too. If you can pronounce his surname.
Dennis, we got Dennis. It's Dennis Kiriakopoulos. But don't worry too much.
That must be probably is from Greece or something, isn't it? I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, he's actually down as being from Switzerland, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Marco goes up into P3. That's the Dutch driver, the 29 car.
Yeah, he's just done a 125.78 as Marco Tolman. As you can see, this is why I think that when you're looking at the track map there, because you see people everywhere. Literally, this is why we're sort of, trying to get around the whole qualifying 7 lap situation. Because it could be quite manic. These drivers are going to have to be a bit careful. Oh, I just had a message in chat, friend. Hey, James, the correct pronunciation of Casino is Casino, apparently. Casino.
Right.
So, sorry, Francesco, for the last 2 rounds that I've been calling you Casino. It's now Casino. So that's from Roberto Modena, the original founder of the FBL community here, who brought us all into the Radical series and put us all out on track in a nice long endurance session. So that was a good birth to the league.
I didn't get that in the chat. Was that a DM chat?
Yeah,
or
no,
chat?
it's in the in the Discord.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
I was looking at YouTube, going, I must be really delayed on this one.
No, if you go to the REC 2022 chat in the FBL Discord, it's in there.
Okay.
Yeah. And I said, right, that's perfect, apparently. So Roberto's obviously in YouTube chat, Biggles. Say hi, Roberto, if you are here, sir.
Yeah, don't be shy. We don't bite much.
No, only at weekends.
Well, James bites, but yeah. Crabb goes faster again, mate.
He's just done a 125.14. He's putting 3 temps up now, mate, over Mike. It's going to be an interesting one to see what Mike can do on the way back there.
Yeah, that's Mike, currently the British driver running in P2.
The thing is, it's not even a draft-assisted lap from Paul Crabb. Because if we jump on like with Paul now, he's kind of is near, not really got the toe from the guy in front. So, but John McHutchison is behind him, one of the other main protagonists in the championship. So it's going to be an interesting one between these guys. And as I say,
keep an eye on Mike as well, mate. He's getting a nice slipstream here. He set the fastest first sector. Might have cost him a little bit of time here. No, it won't.
He's got two yellows.
He's got a toe, but that at some point is going to start compromising his exit speed or his braking point.
Yeah, I think that's Nathan Willoughby in front of him. So Nathan there's pulling Mike along. Whether or not Nathan's going to allow Mike through is a different story. But Mike, he was so funny on Friday. Mike Bousson, I got to give Mike a shout out. Basically, he come in for the sprint race, Biggles, that we do a 30-minute sprint on a Friday evening. And Mike missed the start because he thought we started an hour later. So then he appears in YouTube chat and says, hold on, why are you started? I didn't think you started till 9. I was like, no, Mike, we started already. And he was like, right, okay, I'm going to go out. And he went out and did 2 parade laps right at the end of the race. I was literally in stitches. It was such a funny moment here with Mike Bousson. He decided that he was going to go out on track and do 2 parade laps at the end as he got the times completely mixed up, but seems to have made it through this evening.
You could join the session late?
Late? Well, he was already in the session.
Okay.
He was already in the session, but completely forgot what time we started.
Yeah.
He has just pulled. No, he wasn't there. He has just pulled over. So currently, guys, we've got Paul Crabb in first, who's towing along John McHutchison, who's in second, just gone a 1:25.26 here. That's it. Paul dives out of the way, so we're going to go finish off the lap with John and see what he does. I believe he's going to be used that toe, and then Paul may have jumped out the way on purpose there, Biggles, to break the toe. What do you reckon? Tactics?
Very possible. As you said, the track is going to get very busy. You still have some drivers that are yet to set some times at the moment, and that's could very well be because of the fact that they've had a lot of invalidations starting to come in too.
Yeah,
as John goes fastest. For the first and second, third sector. And will that pull him up? He got it.
He got it 1:24.75. That toe in that first couple of sectors gave him a little bit of a bump there from Paul, and Paul kind of moved out of his way, but clearly he didn't move out of the way quick enough there.
Yeah, probably going to let us know about that if he stays on pole in the chat. I've actually had some drivers, believe it or not, actually chat whilst driving, and I was like, how are they doing that? And there's actually, like, you can use the, voice-to-text bots and stuff like that.
No,
believe it or not.
I don't know about you, mate, but I can't.
I'm concentrating.
Yeah, I have to do one or the other. I can't do both. Which puts it to the categorization that a man can't multitask. I'm a prime example of that.
You've never commentated and driven before? I've done that in the F1.
No, never.
Not easy.
No, I've never commentated because I don't know. I think I could end up commentating and trying to kill a few drivers, and I don't want to interfere with the championship. Do you know what I mean? I try and stay out of that one. So
that's because I drive at the back slow, so it doesn't worry me. Look at John! Purple sector 1, purple sector 2. McHutchison's got it. I tell you, he's gone faster again. This is another blistering lap. He likes purples, mate. He's got purple in his car, the Scottish driver. And mate, you know what? Purples are good, mate, because they get you on the top step.
Oh, 2 tenths quicker. 2 tenths quicker, 1:24.59 from John McHutchison. Setting the pace there, absolutely flying along. And Andrew Horswood is another one. He's in front of John at the moment, so John's gone tucked up behind him. He's just on a 1:25.07. So some blistering times in chat. David Waters, what a lap. Yes, mate. Are you not here tonight, David? Why are you not here?
Yeah, David is, he's not actually, you're right. Maybe it was an hour. We're starting an hour early, mate.
Yeah.
That's actually caught me off because of the daylight saving changes, and I usually work in Eastern Standard Time, but because of the daylight saving changed in the States, and it changed halfway through the month for some weird thing, and it messed me up as well too for casting race, so.
No, we've got Ola Bratton in chat. John McAlien, he's called him. John is, that's his name. But we haven't got up. We've got 26 cars now on that track. So we've had a few jump in the qualifying session. As long as they get in before the end of qualifying, they can do the race. So 26 cars currently. Gary Tube. It's nice to see Damien G in chat. Damien normally misses it because he's eating a Chinese or he's eating a curry. as he was the other day. So yeah, could do. Oh, you're on your holidays. Okay, David Waters, no worries. I'll forgive you for that one. Are you anywhere nice, mate?
Yeah.
Tell us.
Yeah, exactly. As John went faster in the third sector again, you don't stop talking about curries and food that I can't get where I am in a small town in the middle of nowhere. You have to make it yourself, but
yeah, no, that's good old Damien G. That is, mate. He's normally got his curry or his Chinese going. You know what I mean? So we've only got a few cars on track at the moment. Still no time for Gary Truby, Damien G, Frederick Rizanick, or Lee Green. So whether or not they're going to appear in the race will be an interesting one. Daniele Cascado is on track. Miles Owens, as I say that, Daniele goes into the pits. Joel Amos, Stephen Scheen, and David Tamira are all on track currently. So it's going to be an interesting one. And they got about 30 seconds remaining as we see Joel Amos jump into the pits there. So we'll stay on board with Stephen Scheen. Sunny Cornwall, that's the south of England for you, Biggles, if you didn't know where that was. That's the very southern tip of the UK.
Is it?
Yeah, that's where David Waters is. So
I have been there. Well, I've been to a theme park down there somewhere.
Well, down at Cornwall?
I don't know. You said the southern tip?
Yeah, southern tip of the UK.
The UK, yeah.
Yeah, bottom left corner.
Oh, bottom left.
Yeah, bottom left.
Of course. That's Wales.
No, that below Wales. Below Wales.
Oh.
Land's End.
Okay, I did not know.
Land's End.
Yeah, no, not been there.
Oh, okay. Colin Wynn, not sure I'll last the 90 minutes, but I'll try. What's up, Colin? What's up with you? What's going on? You've been a busy boy. What's happening? You're injured. As we come to the end of qualifying, so we'll wait for that to come up, guys, and then we will show you the grid very shortly before we get underway here with myself and Biggles for 90 minutes of radical action here live from the Red Bull Ring, broadcast live on the FBL Community YouTube channel. Don't forget, subscribe, thumbs up, and turn on the bells, because you're not going to want to miss Brands, or you're not going to want to miss Nords. 2 epic race circuits we've got coming up as well. So please hit the thumbs up and turn on the bells as we wait for the results of qualifying to come through before we get into the
Absolutely
race.
Great tracks. You know, you wonder why are the Formula 1 cars going around Monaco and no overtakes, essentially. Yeah, you can go to Brands Hatch in a Formula 1 car. That would be fantastic. That's where you'd want to see that racing. We swap that out. But, yeah, let's get ready for that qualifying and see how. Well, it's going to be interesting to that turn 1 as well, too, mate, because pole and second place really pretty much side by side through that. You know, there's not that much of a huge advantage to be on pole position here in Spielberg.
Yeah, and I think that's the rain. And they're going to want to get through there cleanly as well. The run up there, you know, they're going to want to get through that cleanly. And generally, I find the person on the outside will get the better run because obviously he's not having to tighten up the corner. So as long as the inside guy leaves the room, they should all make it through. Theoretically.
Should, exactly. Just to clarify as well, too, safety cars are not, because I was relatively new here, standing in.
No safety cars. That's why they're free fast repairs. We tried the safety car in one of the races back along. I think it was season 1 or possibly season 1. We tried a safety car. Didn't always work how it should have done. So we went along and did it this way. But here is the grid for the race this evening from the Red Bull Ring of John McHutchinson in first place, Andrew Horswood second, Paul Crabb third, Dennis Kiriakopoulos is there in fourth place, Stephen Scheen fifth, Eric Hanoi sixth, Anders Liliorde in seventh, Mike Buson eighth, David Rolliston in ninth place, Joel Amos in 10th, Marco Tolman in 11th, Nathan Willoughby in 12th, Francesco Cascino in 13th, Miles Owens in 14th, Daniele Cascado in 15th, Stephen Place down in 16th, Ivan Bramer 17th, Nia Gluskic 18th, Ray Peasley 19th, Colin Wynn 20th, David Lawson 21st, David Tamara 22nd, Gary Truby 23rd, Lee Green 24th, Damien G 25th, and Frederick Rizanick is in 26th. I had to speed read because they were getting on the grid rather quickly. Pretty great their job there to get through 26 of those drivers, mate. Absolutely. So now we've got 90 minutes of some fantastic racing around here. I'm not sure how many laps that will pan out to be, but it's irrelevant because it's a time race. And check out those lovely liveries too, my friend. There's so many fantastic liveries. We've got the team Vikings out there, of course. That'll be your Norwegian drivers. That is
you got,
there he is, Anders Liliorde. I'm sure I've said his name wrong as well, mate. You know what I mean? I'm sure it's not Liliorde. It's some fancy Norwegian pronunciation that I can't say. So there you go. If anyone in chat,
I got a close friend from Norway, mate, that comes and visits every so often. It's his names are very hard to pronounce, but you give him nicknames, of course. Well, isn't that usually the voted #1 country in the world to live as well, too?
But isn't it one of the most expensive, though? Apparently.
Yeah, it is, but however, I'm thinking we're going to get ready for some racing, of course, but yes.
Here we go, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And the FBL Community from the Rebel Ring Radical Endurance Championship is underway. And we got John McHutchison leading us way up the hill. Currently at the moment, we've got Andrew Horswood there in 3rd place as well. He's trying to get up beside the current Paul Crabb, who's in 2nd place. Mike Buson and Eric Hanoi there are making Mike 2 wide, going up into Remus, currently on track as well. And at the moment, there, Biggles, everybody made it through without any incidents whatsoever.
Very good. Boys are paying attention. Boys and girls, if there are any ladies that are driving, of course, as well, but paying attention, of course, knowing that it's a long race. It's an endurance race of 90 minutes. You don't want to be fully risking it for the biscuit in the first couple of turns and visiting the fence early.
No, as you see, Mike Buson there just getting past Stefan Scheen on that run down into Sloshgold we go before we head round Roush. Stefan on the left-hand side. He's trying to come up the inside. There he goes. Is he going to make it stick on the run down into Worth? On the left-hand side now he was. That is Stefan Scheen taking the position back from Mike Buson. Currently here on lap about 3/4 of the way into lap 1. Nice tidy move there, Biggles. Made it stick on the inside. Not kind of your relatively normal places that we would expect, but Stefan got the job done there.
He got the job done. Just try. Oh, massive accident. That's Nathan.
Nathan Willoughby.
I think. Yes. Have a look at that. What's happened here?
Here is Nathan Willoughby. He is alongside one of the car number 36, one of the HRs. Oh!
He got tapped from behind.
Yeah, spun out. Oh, and then a slight little contact from David Lawson there as well. And Nathan Willoughby.
He did the right thing, but he waited for all those cars so that they don't obviously going to drop a lot of places. But he jumped straight back in the pit lane. I guess that's not a bad place to have an accident.
No, mate, because he can fill up now, can't he? He can fill up, change boots, and he doesn't have to pit again, really, if he can get all the way to the end on the laps that he's got. He might have to do a quick splash and dash at the end, but Nathan Willoughby there, making use of it, as we can see Mike here and Stefan still having a battle with Joel Amos. This is a battle for 6th place, mate, and I think, as you say, 90 minutes, you're not going to want to jeopardise it straight away, are you? You've got to give it time.
Oh, there's a run at the moment. I think you're looking at P2 and P3, perhaps. So just trying to see what's going on there. Yep, business end.
Paul Crabb.
That's the Team Vikings, yep.
Yeah, Paul Crabb and Andrew Horswood having a go there, and they got Liliorde is currently in 9th position. He's currently tucked up behind Joel Amos, the British driver there in the series, as you see TeamVikings.com at the hand of Anders Liliorde heading around the last corner. I think Biggles is going to take a run at him up into turn 1.
Yep, if you get a tuck up right on the gearbox, this should be good. Maybe I'll give you a picture, we'll give you an onboard camera from him actually, and we can see how this is all going to pan out.
Oh, Joe got a slide
should be able
on.
to get him now. Is he? Where is he? Gonna go and get him into turn. Yep, into turn 3. I'm taking the inside line. So that very much might be job done. It certainly is. He did get him. That's a classic overtake. You won't get any DRS here. Just got to rely on pure man and machine.
I think this is it. This is going to be the run down into Sloshgold as well, because Amos has got a chance to come back now. If he looks at taking the inside line, which he didn't do because he was just a little bit too far back. But that is Anders Liliorde up into 8th place now. As you can see, look at the battle with Mike Buson and Stefan Scheen still having their own little mix there. This is the battle for 6th place currently, with Scheen there occupying the place. But Mike's not giving it up though, because he wants that bit. We're only 4 minutes in. Not too sure I would be this aggressive. I don't know about yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it's good wheel-to-wheel racing. You expect that. You want him to keep going at it tooth and nail. We've still got John leading the race there from Paul. And John and Paul, they're keeping with, As you can see, the time's up there about half a second between there, and you've also got Andrew just going up. You've got the track map there, so you've got a bit of a gap there. There's the man in P4, Dennis, just at the fastest lap. He's trying to catch that pack. This is all that pack, of course. P1 to P7, then you have a little bit of a gap from 8, and then another little bit. You call it a DRS train course without the DRS, but that's the situation. You can see on that track map, those two packs start to separate.
Oh, Andrew Horswood there, I thought was going to take a run up the inside of Crabb into turn 2, but he's kind of jeopardized himself, and that's the problem with that corner on the uphill right-hander with Remus. Is you've got to be, you're tight in the line to try and take the inside, but then your exit speed's gone on the exit, and you can't get out quick enough.
Yeah, that's the great thing about this track. It's just go, 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 isn't it? And you can get overtakes. There's plenty of overtaking opportunities, but you really got to time it right. It will compromise going off the racing line and putting the power down. Remember, they're still got to try to take care of those tires a little bit. You chew them up too quickly, you're going to find you have to go to a pit stop earlier. I mean, we know it's about a minute and change. But here we are on lap 4, essentially, at the moment. And 5 minutes into this 90-minute race. Plenty of racing to go. We just had a couple of drivers you can see running at the back there on those dots there. 23rd and 24th after having those pit stops.
Yeah, that's Gary Truby and Debut G, both from Team BSR. So whether or not that was a tactic of the BSR boys, because they've not shown up as they've had any incidents at all. So I know Ray Peasley has been off as well. Let's have a look and see what Ray has been up to. I believe this is probably right near the start as we jump on board with the chopper. It's a bit of a long way back here in the Red Bull Ring, but there is Ray. He's heading up into turn 3. Oh, just unfortunately there, got stuck behind Miles Owens. Everybody braked in front, so did Miles Owens, but Ray Peasley gets away with it and he's running in 15th place at the moment there, sir.
Oh, it could be a run for the lead now. I see it. They're getting are they getting lap traffic? I'm not quite sure. No.
No, not yet. They're not. That's John
Andrew.
Yeah, Andrew Horswood and Paul Crabb battling for second place currently with John McHutchinson opening up about a 1 second gap. There he is, the Scottish driver there doing the business. But Dennis Kiriakopoulos is pulling him in slowly but surely, Biggles. We could be on for a freeway in the next couple of laps, I should think.
Absolutely. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong battle.
That's good.
We might have to, not worry about that other picture-in-picture thing for now because it's getting a little bit too confusing to me see all this actions going on for 50,000 different cameras. So I want to be able to focus on what you're saying, my friend, and what the battle is. And you can see that battle, obviously, between P2 and P3. And there's the orange car down there right at that. It's actually allowing now, isn't it, John McHutchinson to get a little bit of a gap there up the road and let these two guys who sit there, you guys battle that all day long. I'm just going to sit there and do my own thing and try to pull a gap.
I think that's the thing when you're battling, though, because they've got to look at what they could do here. Because at the end of the day, he's opened up nearly 1.5 seconds, right? And John is actually getting away. And every time Andrew jeopardizes his exit, we see a big puff of smoke from Paul Crabb there. They're not gaining on him, are they? They're just giving him time to pull away. So, should you be battling 6 laps in? I don't know, Biggles. I think I'd be happy just to sit behind him and say, look, you carry on. As we see Andrew there again. But then again, Andrew's got just send it on the side of his car, so...
Yeah. Try the Daniel Ricciardo approach, mate. Lick the step and send it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, but you know what? They're drivers, mate. You say, not to battle it out, but they're going to do it anyway. If-gap car. Always for race drivers. But, different mentality for some of the drivers. The endurance race, and some play it differently. Other ones are just going to go, you know what? I'm clearly quicker than this guy, so I need to get past.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to want to make a move up there now. He's going to have a look at last year's champion, Nia Gluskick, down in currently 18th place. He's mixed in a battle with Lee Green and David Lawson here on track. Now, we have discussed the highs and lows of the previous champion already this season. It's been a bit of an up and down season. The league's kind of evolved, Biggles, and a lot has been going on.
Oh, it's compromised. Yeah, I was going to say, did you see that chain reaction there? The guy behind had to brake a little bit early. He had to brake, and look at this. We got a 3-way battle into turn 1. And that's a turn, yep. That's into turn 3. Yep, here we go.
It's a turn 1 with David Lawson now on the inside, running up the hill. Niad on the left there, Mr. Gluskick, number 1 on his car. last year's champion. We've got 2 banks of 2 in the mix as well. Is also Ivan Bramer from the Hoppin' Rabbits team, Biggles, and not HRT of hormone replacement therapy. We had this discussion.
Hoppin's good, mate.
Yeah,
Goes with my first 3 letters of my name. Surname, yeah.
Hoppin' Rabbits. That's what they're called as they're headed down into Slush Gold, but it's 18th, 19th, and there as well. Anders Liliode is now, he's taking an excursion off track. And let's have a look and see what Anders has been up to, because it's dropped him back a little bit here for Team Vikings. That was Marco Tolman, so he was in 8th place. Spin round on the curb.
Yeah, spin, yep. Too much power down out of the turn 3, I think that was. And that's a typical situation that drivers do, but he gets around there, he just drops a couple of places, but lives to see more action. Of course, only 10 minutes down in this race, still plenty to go. What's interesting too, mate, is that looking at some of those off-track excursions, we're looking at about some of the drivers getting 5. Now, John up the road leading this race, he's got 5 already. And we got 4 for some of these other drivers. So I'll keep an eye on that too as well, to let you know, because you said there's, obviously, as you mentioned, there's 22.
Yep.
And if you're getting 5 done already, that on those averages aren't going to look too good.
No, mate, he's 10 minutes in as well, isn't he? So 5 off tracks in 10 minutes. He's not on no contact, so we can take that as they're all off tracks. He's looking at about 20 off tracks with about 40 minutes in. So he's gonna
love that livery too, don't you? I mean, you can tell he's Scottish. He's very proud to be a Scotsman, because he's even got a little bit of the, is it the Celt or something like that? The pattern that's on the side of the
tartan
of the card. Yeah, it's just absolutely fantastic. David Coulthard would be very impressed, my friend.
But this is Eric Hanoi and Mike Bousson. Still locked in that battle with Stefan Scheen. They're still going at it here for the battle for 5th, 6th, and 7th. Eric in the middle there, and leading away. Eric's had an interesting season so far, to be honest. It's been very up and down. He's been there or thereabouts, and then he was unfortunate in Spa. He got involved in an incident, carried too much speed up the hill, and unfortunately there was a car at the top that wasn't going as fast, and poor Eric ended up in the barrier. So he's hoping to make amends this evening here at the Red Bull Ring, and is doing well. Paul Crabb and Andrew Horswood.
Ooh.
Oh, contact!
Oh. Yeah, he has had to really slam the brakes on that. That's going to compromise him. He's going to be a sitting target to Mr. Dennis now, because Dennis should be able to get the power down early. They're very lucky not to get spun around, but that has definitely probably, I don't know, if you were Dennis at the moment there in P4, you really got to pounce on him at the moment while he's probably still shaking from nearly completely losing control of that car.
Yeah, him and Andrew Horswood there rubbing doors side by side. And unfortunately, that's dropped Paul Crabb into the hands of Dennis Kiriakopoulos behind him. And now Paul has got the battle of not only trying to catch Andrew up front, but also defending the championship leader currently, Mr. Kiriakopoulos, who's going to want to try and get up to John McHutchison as soon as he can. But he has got an hour and 15 minutes. So, yeah.
And our leaders now, cut you off, is starting to catch their back markers. We knew that traffic's going to come into play, got completely out of the way. So that's very obviously sportsmanship of it. But will that come into play? Because the other drivers, as you can see, are starting to come up there now. That's just allowing, isn't it, to John just to kind of run away with this one. But he's going to be the one that I think is going to be able to target on his back most too, because he may be the driver that the other drivers behind him will respond to when it comes to those first round of pit stops that you're probably expecting in about 25 minutes or so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, give or take, generally around about the 25-minute, 35-minute mark. And that's where it's going to kind of really come into play now, I think, because with the different fuel strategies, what's going to happen? Are they going to take full fuel straight off? Are they not? And I think he caught Damien G due to this little incident here with Gary Truby. You see Damien, he's going to be spun there. There he is.
Oh, yeah.
Let's have another look at that one from Damien's point of view. I think it's going to be the same thing. If I jump on board, I can probably tell you now, Biggles is going to be in about first gear.
Is it? Yeah, there it is. It's a little earlier than the other spin that we saw before, but you're right. You caught that. You are a driver, of course. I'm not. I wouldn't even be able to handle these machines around there. Not even a safety car. There isn't a safety car, of course. But
No.
But keep an eye on the battle, too, I think, at the moment between the Norwegian guys. Exactly. You went to it. That's Stefan,
Yep.
and Eric. And they're both from the, I think they're both from Team Vikings. Should be Team Vikings, of course.
No, Anders Leliorde. These guys are not in the teams. They're running as privateers. See, I'm surprised at that there as well. I thought the Norwegian guys might have all teamed up and gone into one big group. But no, currently they're not.
Different Viking clans, mate. They don't want to... He's got... Well, the Team Vikings obviously is on the side of his car there from Stefan.
Yeah, exactly.
And I like the little flag on the side of his rear on the wings, of course, there to let him know. Be proud of your country, of course, and we just mentioned about all the up the road there about Norway being expensive. But mate, you pay a lot of money in taxes, but you get the best of healthcare and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, their wages, you know, their wages is pretty good as well. To be fair, though, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. My friend, like, you know, if he has an accident when he's here in Panama, you can get they'll fly him to Norway and get all that surgery and all that sort of stuff for free, of course. Anyway.
Nice.
You pay for it in your taxes, of course, but that's it. You get taxes back. And look at this. That's lap traffic. Is it not?
Yeah, it is.
Yes,
that is currently Gary Truby, I believe, in the mix there. Or was that his partner in crime, Damien G from Team BSR. Poor old Damien there has been lapped around. But Joel Amos has had an excursion. And here is what we see from Joel Amos. I'm going to go aboard because I am going to predict this. First gear.
You reckon? I think so.
Yeah.
It's even before the corner, so they're starting to slip it out a little bit earlier now. That's the third one in a row, and that's just... So is it because the tyres now starting to wear a little bit, and so therefore that putting the power down is making them spin earlier?
I don't know. This was just one of them contentious conversations we had during the sprint race, dude. And to be fair, like, you know, we had, as I say, Glenn Anders Christensen was taking that corner in second gear. And... you know, he was making it round lap after lap after lap. But the guys who was there in first were having their moments, exactly their moments on that corner. So there was a contentious debate whether or not they were going to go round in first or whether or not they were going to go round in second. So I think from my own safety point of view, I'd go round in second gear. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd say, and obviously as your tires start to wear down as well, you will have to, and well, fuel obviously towards the end of the race will make a bit of a difference as your car's really light and nice and pacey. Again, your tires are probably a little bit more wanting depending on your strategy. Still loving these liveries. This is the 82 car at the moment there. I'm not going to ever try to pronounce his name, of course, but I'm going to call him Dennis. Dennis could perhaps be the menace right now for Crabb up the road. Well, Crabb, the Irish driver.
We've got David Lawson has had a bit of an excursion that has put him into the pits. This is on the run down into Schlossgold, down in the back end of turn 3. Around he goes. Did he get contact with Casino? Oh! Yes, he did. And that would be why Casino and Lawson are into the pits. Flying radical. Never good.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I don't see it on my screen, unfortunately. For that, I have to watch the YouTube stream, so I'm going to watch it a little bit delayed on that one. But that car went flying. Yeah. It's not going to hurt your back. Your back's not going to feel good in the morning, mate.
No, mate, and touch wood, he's lucky he's stuck in a simulator that doesn't vibrate, otherwise he would be.
If he's got a force feedback, it can kick your hand around, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried a bit about it. Mr. Liliorde in Team Vikings. Coming up into turn 1, there's David Rolliston in front of us.
Oh, I thought he saved it.
No.
He saved that. Just a little bit tap into the wall there. But what did you do to that purple witch's hat, mate? The witch's cone. What did you do to that? That cone never hurt you.
Took it out, mate. He didn't like it on the side of the track. It was not good enough, and he was going to go and knock it out of the way.
Like, there's no witches here in Norway, only Vikings. Get out. Oh, a few people are going off there. You can see there's a bit of sand that's kicked up on the side of the track.
That's it coming down on the exit to turn 1 as you see Marco Tolman there. David Rolliston, here is the dirt on the left-hand side. You can see it there from these guys. But again, it's a famous off-track area, so they're going to have to be a little bit more careful on that corner, as I say.
Yeah, just to clarify, because, I mean, I'm relatively new to iRacing, and of course there's all different divisions and cars and stuff, but yeah, if you do, it's a simulator, of course. If you do kick up sand and stuff like that, I know marbles play an effect. Does the sand also do that as well?
Not as much. It does at certain tracks, but I'd never really see it do much damage. It can be a bit loose, and obviously you pick it up on your tyres, which could leave it a little bit slippery, but generally overall, the dirt isn't horrendous. Obviously, if you ride over it, you go in the gravel trap like they do in Formula 1, you're going to have to give your car a few minutes to get rid of the marbles underneath. And the thing with the Radical, mate, as well, is you can hear them marbles kicking up underneath them big old wheel arches. So you know they're still there.
True.
You know what I mean? And you have to wait.
You could probably see them in a minute too, if you get a chance as they spread out to, you know, that chicane camera that I said they have. That's a great one to kind of get an idea of what flicks up on the corners as they go around. In the chat there, g'day guys. I think you're a little bit quiet because, James is not biting today.
No.
Oh, look at how wide they're going. Keep an eye on those off tracks. Well, that's something to keep an eye on as well, too, because
John's on
looks
8,
like
mate.
Danielle has got 13 off tracks, 14 now already, and that's the driver on P12. Pushing it.
He's going to have to be a little bit careful. But what has the hopping rabbit of Ivan Bramer been up to now as we're heading up to... Oh, he's got a little bit of a flick on, and I'm going to guarantee, Biggles, look at the corner. This is getting... Oh, that was on the way in. That was on the way into the corner. He broke. He went from third. Almost looked like he went straight down into first. And unfortunately, spun himself out there. As we can see, Mike Brousson getting involved in this mix with Kiriakopoulos and Crabb. Mike currently in 5th place. Dropped Eric Hanoi now by about 1.8 seconds. Made his way up through the field as Mike Brousson. And done a stellar job. He's +3 already.
Yep, and obviously get the pace there. So very proud to be from the United Kingdom there with that flag on the side of his car. And he's hungry for a little bit more. He's one of the biggest gainers, as well as Stephen Place at the moment. He's up 6 positions in the P10. But yes, Mike is the one in the side, really, the top 7 here that have gained a few positions, as you can see there on your left-hand side of your screen. And certainly looking like he's got the pace. His last lap was a 202 point flat, and 202.35 was Dennis up the road, and you can see the pace difference now.
Yeah, they've just gone across the line. Mike's on a 125.31. Dennis on a 125.52. So he's 2 tenths slower than Mike Brousson behind, and I don't think this is going to be long before we see these guys together here on.
And the dummy there. Do you see that? I like that when the drivers do that. They said the dummy, they put it, because you're looking in your mirrors, of course. That's going to be the problem, obviously, for Dennis. He's going to be looking forward and backwards. But you see somebody go, it takes your attention away, because he thinks, okay, he's going to try it there? But you don't. You just put psychological warfare into the opponents, of course, and make them think that you're going to make a pass there. And when you do make a pass, of course, they might 100% know if you're going to really risk it or not. Tell you what, right now, he's going to be looking, definitely. Where would you go? I'd line him up, or go around for another lap, and then I'd say try your turn 3. Yeah,
I would look at lining him up there. Dennis is quicker than Brousson and Hanoi. You can see the sector times at the bottom of the screen. I would set him up ready. I wouldn't look at making a move. I'd tuck right in as close as I can get now, and then it would be on that revo. If I can get the run on turn 1, I would. But generally on the way up to 3. But then again, you tighten up 3, and you got that inside bump that's going to cause you the problem. And as you can see, Brousson.
See, if it's turn 1, no, he's got to be a little bit too far back here.
You reckon it's going
to... But look, you're going to exit here. Now they can do this. I'd say this is it. But then again, he's got the other car up the road. So it's going to be very interesting. He's got nice on board there, seeing he's up to 5th gear. And he's going to brake. He's going to be very careful. Braking. He's going to... Oh, but he's been blocked off, of course, because... But if you can get the inside line, you get the power down. Don't spin. Yes, I'd say there could be a double run here. If anything, Paul Crabb and P3 could be in a bit of trouble here. He's got 2 very fast cars behind him.
Oh, here we go.
He's defending. He's parking it in all the right places, isn't he? He's like making it difficult. You want to get around me, my friend? You're going to get around the hard way.
Oh, he dropped down into first then and try and get that exit speed back up. Normally a 2nd gear corner, he just didn't carry it. As he heads around into Roush, we've still got Crabb, Kiriakopoulos, and Brousson here, locked horns for 3rd, 4th, and 5th at the no pun intended, as they do go round the power horse section of the track as well. So we got it's going to be an interesting one. Looking, the problem he's got though, there, Biggles, is he's got Paul Crabb in front of Mr. Kiriakopoulos.
Exactly, yeah. And that's what's happening is because, oh, they both go really wide off. That's that corner starting to catch people off a little bit. Because Dennis is trying to get past Paul, and he's trying to get past Dennis. It's very difficult because if Dennis makes a move, it then blocks his chance of trying to go somewhere. So, as he gets up on the sausage curb. But yeah, I think at the moment you might have to play a little bit of a patience game. This is actually allowing, of course, John and Andrew up the road there to gain a little bit more time on them.
Yeah, it goes from Dennis.
You can't send the dummy that late, but it's going to compromise your exit speed.
Oh, I thought he was going to try and make that move. I thought he was going to send it on the inside. Is Mike going to be looking now? You can see all the action in front. Horsewood is chipping away at the gap. Don't worry, we have seen it. It's come down below 3 seconds. Andrew Horsewood just got it down to about 2.9, but it's back out above 3. Don't worry, David, we have got you covered. We're keeping an eye. Yeah. We can see what's happening here.
Nothing gets past us, mate. Yeah, exactly. James and the Biggles here. I got 5 monitors of tracking software to keep all this up, mate. So, yep, if I miss it, James has definitely got it. We both got everything covered. Yep. But thank you. We loved you guys out there engaging and keeping us entertained and informed, and obviously give us your predictions out there too for the race win, because we're about getting into close to the 1/3 mark.
Yeah, we're just
pit stop territory as well, potentially, right?
Yeah,
mate?
It's going to be soon, mate. It's going to be soon. I think Marco Tolman here is going to be, he's kind of having one of them lowly races, but here is the 2 Norwegians, and they're still going at it. Scheen and Hanoi. Casino has had, unfortunately, an incident, and we'll have a quick look at that before we're on that run up into turn 3. Oh, look at the corner. Do you even need to know what's going to happen? Here we go.
I'm gonna see the delayed one here on the YouTube
one. Yeah. Mate, around he goes, down into first gear, and that is Casino spinning it. Look at the corner he goes. You can see it on the run up the hill.
Yeah. It's even earlier again, isn't it?
Yeah,
once again,
it just goes off.
It's starting. It's starting to be about a few feet or meters, about a meter and change earlier, as the tires start wearing more and more.
Yeah, we've got Miles Owens and Joel Amos here. They are literally now, as you see Miles looking at going up the inside of 2. Is he going to get Cascado and Amos on the same corner? And then we got the battling back. Liliode, who's just been involved in his own little spins as well. So he's trying to come through, but this is that battle now for 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th. Oh, mate, he pushed him out, didn't he? He got him off that gap. He got him off that line, and now we've got Joel Amos.
Yeah. You can go side by side throughout this whole track. I've seen it before. It's very possible. Of course, you got to really have a lot of confidence in the other driver, of course, and each other to allow enough space, but it's good. This is great racing, as you can see. Look at that different racing line. Some of the drivers are taking in and out. They give them a little bit extra speed. They're all equal performance cars, of course. Going to come down to man and machine.
Yeah, with that fixed setup. Yeah, with that fixed setup, mate, as well. They're not going to get it.
Somebody in the pit lane.
We've got Daniele Cascado from Team Ade who's jumped into the pit set. Oh,
first one.
Yeah, that was a late one as well, mate, because he literally his entrance in. He couldn't get his entrance in and literally put it on the grass. So that must have been a late one from him there.
Could be, going for an undercut or something like that. That's probably not a bad idea. If you're stuck in traffic like that and you don't think there's too much you could do, pit stop strategy might come into play later. You can see that track map. It'll start to spread out even more soon. As you can see, Mr. John is going through the second of the left-hand turns. There's also the punishment it's going to take on your right tires as well. Sorry, because all on the right-hand side of the car, or your right tires, of course, because most of these corners are right. You only got a couple of lefts.
And that's the thing.
Where you're starting to see them lose it.
Yeah, they're quite high-paced as well. You know what I mean? There's no real hairpin sections apart from obviously turn 2 and 3. But after that, it's just a free run. There's no real dip in speed that they've got to worry about too much on this circuit because it is such a fast-paced one. As we see Stefan and Eric now, they're going to be locked in horns. Is he going to get him? I thought he might have took him out the run at 1, but I think he's going to run him on 3 there, Biggles.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to be cheering or cursing in Norwegian. And up the road, of course, there's still that battle they're going to be saying. This could be a run here. He's going to commit. Last and late breakers. You see the rear end sliding as he did lock up a little bit. And he's had to back off on that one. And that's cost him a little bit of time. He can do it all over again now. You think about that. It's not easy just to catch up in just one lap.
Oh,
further up the field here.
Mike's
a run for P3.
Oh, I thought Mike was going to send it on the inside there. Thought twice about it. Behind Mr. Kiriakopoulos himself in the orange and blue Radical with Mike Buisson behind him there. Car number 2 from the UK. It's all over his livery. You can tell where he is from, and proud to be an Englishman here is Mike Buisson doing the job. He looked like he'd set him up ready to go there, but he just kind of didn't, I don't know, maybe he just didn't pick him up and stick him in his pocket enough to send it on the inside. I don't know.
He's been quick. Let's see, his lap times have been very quick. Still keeping that eye on that lap time battle. They're pretty much even Stevens at the moment, John and Andrew, with the times. But this is where it's really all the business end at the moment, this motor race. So it's gone really wide off. Who was that?
Paul Crabb.
Was that Crabb?
Yeah.
Oh. That's compromised him for sure. It's going to be an easy peasy. Oh, two cars now.
That's a slowdown.
That's painful.
That's a slowdown.
Oh, it was
Biggles.
a slowdown, yes. He's an off-track slowdown. Yes, you're right.
Yeah, he's got his slowdown, and that has unfortunately jeopardised him now. He's dropped him down into 5th. How are we doing on off-tracks at the moment? Because there's quite a few already up there, mate.
There is, mate. 14 from Andrew. 15 at the moment from Marco in P8.
Oh, Buisson!
There's a run! He has to commit to it now. There's no way you're going to back up, but look at this, got lost the exit speed. Guess who's come back? Guess who's come back? Crabb's coming. He's like, all right. I might have had to slow down, but I'm not slowing down now. I'm pedal to the metal.
He's got both of them again.
Yep.
He lost it
That's
in
fantastic.
the beginning, mate. In the beginning there, and then basically pulled him back as well.
In about 2 corners, exactly the 64 car back up to where he was, but he's going to have to do this defending all over again.
I'll tell you what, though, at the end of the day, I think that we're going to hear some swearing in the car from our very own Colin Wynn, because he's been involved. Mate, they got 3 wide. Miles Owen, Joel Lamos, Lily Orde, up into Remus. Oh, no.
Oh, that's just unfortunate, yeah.
I
guess so. You know what he said in the cockpit?
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
But here is Buisson on Crabb on the run up into Remus now. As we can see these guys heading up side by side. 2 wide on board. Buisson on your right, Crabb on the left. Are they going to make it round? Oh, Buisson's looking to get in a run on down into turn 3 we go. Drop over the hill. Little decline before we go up again, and then on that run into Sloshgold. There is Hanoi and Scheen making a move, but here is Buisson. He's going to run him around the outside.
No, you go out and then come back on the inside. That's it. Perfect move right there. You're forcing the other driver to take the other line. Now he's got to commit to this, but of course this is a good thing about the speedboat track because it comes back around here now to your lefts.
They're 2 wide. Oh, are they going to make this all the way around this next exit of Worth? And there you go. Buisson's through back into 3rd. The thing is, one of the things here is this young gentleman and the other Norwegian Viking behind him, they're catching up with these 3 because they're swapping positions. This could be an interesting 5-way coming along within the next couple of laps,
because the battling always costs you time. That's the reason why our leaders have built an 8-second gap up at the moment. And that's between Andrew and Mike. As you can see, the sun's starting to get a little darker. Unfortunately, we don't have any rain yet, of course.
Not yet. 2
drivers that I'm showing is out of the pit lane. So a few people have come into those to make that pit stops at the moment. So everybody from P16 down now have visited the old pit lane, visited Jeffrey.
Yeah, and we've had Nathan Willoughby has definitely visited some form. Oh, I think Nathan's actually dropped out of the session. Oh, no, there he is as he's heading around now. We're going, oh, he's very blinky, is Nathan Willoughby. Not quite sure we're going to be able to get the full replay of here. What happened to Nathan as he come out of Worth on that exit, goes over the curb. And I think nothing was doing. I think SDK just had a funny moment there.
It did.
It didn't
and just curious because I mean, where we are, just on a third of the way through the race, you can see it's starting to get dark. It's a sunset race. Will it get dark enough They do have lights on these cars, I believe.
Yeah,
This track's not illuminated.
No, they've got about, what we got, just under an hour. So it's possible. We'll have a look and see. It's nearly just got 8:15 in the evening as well. So could.
Oh, we got, yep. So Dennis has gone in the pit lane. The Swede. Of the name I'm going to let you pronounce, of course. So that's going to be interesting. This is one of the the top 5 drivers that have elected to go to the pit stops, and it should be about a minute. Okay, I'll keep an eye on those times for you.
Yeah.
Off-track excursions are getting pretty thick and fast too as well. So Andrews is 17, mate. Got 22, remember, for a drive-through, and a third of the way through the race. He's in big trouble.
What is John on, mate?
John is on 12. He's also used a few. I think we might be, you said at the top of the show, I think we might be looking at probably almost every driver at this rate doing one drive-through, I think. I would have to say, well, it depends. So some of the drivers out there, if you look at Ray actually in P12, you don't have to go on board with him, but he's 7 positions gained. Obviously, he hasn't taken a pit stop yet, but he's only got 1 warning. He could be okay for that one later on. Look at this battle at the moment. That's a 69 car there.
Yeah, that is unfortunately the guys from BSR, Gary Truby and Damien G getting overtaken by Ray Peasley. Unfortunately for them, Dennis's pit lane time. I got him about 52, just under 53 seconds.
That's good pit stop time, yeah. That's quick in and out. That's what you want to have, especially at this level of racing where you can see they're only separated by certain tenths. Of course, look at that, Crabb separated by right on the back. Yeah. And that's Stefan Scheen going into the pit lane now. So this is definitely pit lane time territory, because you can see the car starting to get a little bit wobbly in the rear end here.
Yeah, we got Buson has got past Paul Crabb again. So these guys have managed to swap back positions from Buson and Crabb. So Buson is currently up into 3rd. Now, we haven't really spoke about young Andrew Horswood. He's kind of been in that no man's land race in Biggles, where you got kind of too much time. He's got about 3.5 seconds in front, and he's got nearly 9.
Oh, he's got a power slide come out there. I like the rainbow colors. Kind of reminds you of those shirts, those hydro shirts, where they change color.
Yeah, those hydro.
I always thought about that for paint. I'm putting on a car. Wouldn't that be interesting to see how the the different color change it would be? Obviously, it'd be really red or something like that at the back of the car, and be cool at the front. It'd be. Get that paint out there, trademark patent.
That would be an ideal thing to film, that wouldn't it? The hydro dipping of a shell of a radical and see what it comes out like. But this is...
He's good, but he's got, pit lane, they're both going in. So I figured he was maybe responding to John leading this race. That's usually the case, isn't it?
Yeah, they're
in these battles.
They're both going to go in. We expected them to go and see this together anyway with these guys that can cover each other off. But there they are. There is Ivan Bramer still in the pits. That is one of the Mad guys. That is Gluskit coming out now. But here they go. Look, the tyres are going on. You can see them being raised up on the tracks. This is your leader. John McHutchinson and Andrew Horswood were leading going into the pits. Buson and Crabb have now taken the top 2 positions there. Mike Buson and Paul Crabb are now currently first and second.
Yeah, Dennis's pit stop was nice and quick, man. 43 seconds. So that's going to come into play soon. Dennis maybe trying to undercut.
He's coming around the last corner now. Where is this going to put Kiriakopoulos? He's going to jump all the way through the field. As he heads out, you can see them all in there. John's still in the pits. John's doing his thing again where he's not going to... He's going to fill that car all the way. Oh!
It's that...
Lawson.
Was that great? Yes.
David Lawson around in front of Dennis Kiriakopoulos. I tell you what, that must have been a scary moment on board with Dennis. Look at this.
Look at that.
Oh,
yeah, he hit the sausage curb as well. But this is because that's actually Dennis is like, oh, I live to see another. Oh, I didn't get involved in that, but that allows him free air now to get the pedal to the metal down, because he's gained quite some places.
Oh, that's Horswood. That's Horswood.
Yeah, that's cold tires then, because he's just come out of the pit lane.
Yeah, Andrew Horswood has just gone round on the entrance down the exit of turn 3 down in slush cold there, and he's spinning that round on tires, but cold tires. But currently, Mike and Paul, this is going to be the man we're going to want to keep an eye on here with Dennis Kiriakopoulos. Can he get in front of Mike Buisson and Paul Crabb, who are still in the pits, and we're expecting him into the pits for at least another 10 seconds?
Yeah, he should be able to. There should not be a problem whatsoever. And I think it's because his 43-second pit stop, everybody else has done a minute. All the other gladiators out there, Andrew and Stefan and all that, all did.
Yeah, he's done it. He got the lead.
Yep. The undercuts paid off brilliantly for this man. The Switzerland driver. But he's got a bit of traffic up the road, of course, but they're blue flags, so they should get out of his way. But still, it's still traffic, isn't it? Because look where it's going to happen, up into the top of the corner as well. So that's definitely going to compromise him a little bit.
Oh, don't first gear this corner, Dennis. You've just taken a lead. But I tell you what, throughout this race, young sir, we are going to have to keep an eye on Mr. McHutchinson. Now, as you can see from the pit lane times, he was in the pit lane for about a minute and a half. Minute 35.
Yeah, that was a long fuel then, right? Yeah. That has to be.
Now, John he's done this before in Spa. He took on a full load of fuel to get him to the end of the race. He's changed his tyres, so when it comes to the pit stop number 2, he's just going to go in and go straight back out again because he's not going to have to change tyres. He's inside that hour limit. Now, everybody else ahead may have to, and definitely Kiriakopoulos may have to get a little bit of a splash and dash. And I think
I'd say so, isn't it?
Yeah.
43-second pit stop seemed a little bit too quick for somebody to go to the end of the race, that's for sure.
And John definitely is not going to have to do it. As you can see the pit lane times there on the left-hand side, Dennis on a 52.9. That includes a stop. John with a 135.6. So I can guarantee John has pulled out of his little bag of tricks where he's filled that radical right to the end. And he's going through, he's not going to be able to, pit stop number 2, he's not going to put fuel or tyres in.
Is it? It's quite strange what it's showing 52.9 for you, because it shows 42.3 for me. All the other ones are absolutely correct and matched perfectly. It's weird.
Yeah, not quite sure on that one, but as you see McHutchinson there as well. Pit times, John's on a minute 6. That's what I mean.
Yeah, that's the gas for sure.
Yeah, that's
He's got it cheap
load
before it starts to go. Gas is only going up, guys. So yep, get it early, because in about 20 to 30 minutes or so, it's going to be a little bit more to the gallon. He's got traffic up the road there. It's not traffic, actually.
It's not, no,
that's David.
Yeah, it's for position. It's for position. John McHutchinson and David Rolliston. John looking on the left. I don't think David's going to put up much of a fight here. He knows what the pace of John has got. All David really can do now is I would try and stay with John as best I can. Use John to pull you up through the field.
Yeah, but David's a tiger, mate. He can't be giving it up like that. Then again, he was the predator. He's the prey. He was the prey. He's now become the predator. There it is.
Yeah.
You
got there in the end, mate? You good?
Yeah. Got there, yeah, eventually. Sorry, I couldn't see. He was camouflaged for a second. Here's another battle further down. 14th place.
Oh, Colin Wynn is back on track. Ray Peasley has been involved in another incident. He's behind Colin at the moment, so it can't have cost him too much. But let's have a quick look and see what he's been up to. This is on, oh, man. Up the hill into turn 3. First gear. Slow it, missed his braking point, and that is how Colin Wynn got the job done over Ray Peasley there. As you can see, he ran in too deep into Remus and has now put him behind him. So, yeah, but Stephen Scheen and Eric Hanoi are doing well with Mike behind in 5th place as well. So pretty much they've all got through the pit stop stage now. We've done the first one, Biggles. Straight sprint now to the second one. And let's see who comes out.
Yeah, and taking care of your tyres now is crucial. So nurse them, then baby them, call them, give them 4 names if you want. Do like a Sebastian Vettel, you know, give your car a name, give your tyres a name too. They're probably more important than the car itself, because they're the 4 contact points that connect your car to the track. You need them. Take care of them so that give you the extra pace at the end when you wanted to be attacking or defending, to try to make you a run to get as maximum points as you possibly can. I'll tell you what, Dennis, but we expect to probably come in again, as you'd mentioned.
I think it's going to have to.
What's on his side is the fact that he's not many penalties, mate, a 9. But guess what? Andrew in P2, the 78 car, is on 24. So that means he must have to serve a penalty.
Yeah, he must have to serve his penalty if he's got a drive-through there with Andrew Horswood. If we got that right, and we generally are not that far away when it comes to the X limits. So we have to see how Andrew Horswood and whether or not he goes in here. But he's been pushing the limit. We knew 22 was going to be tough. We knew it for these drivers because this is such a tough circuit. And he can get another one just by taking too much on that curb on the entry into Schlossgold there. So Andrew's going to be definitely looking at going in if he hasn't gone in already, which I don't think I've seen him go in. So we'll follow Andrew now till the end of this lap and see if he does take that drive through. If we are correct, I'm pretty sure we're not far from it. I don't think there's normally any discrepancies there between our mighty Biggles there.
Keep an eye on the battle there as well. I think at P5 he's got that. Once again, that's resumed. This time around, that's Mike Boosen there, and this time he's got Stefan out the road there.
Stefan Scheen.
Stefan Scheen, yeah. Well, I'm checking with the race control with the FIA and stuff like that. So I'm on the phone to Michael Massey at the moment, trying to find out about that penalty situation to let everybody know when he has to serve a drive-through, if he has to serve a drive-through.
Is Sandro? Let's tag. Let's get that. Throw that over.
Should I talk to?
There you go. Up in Sandro Capella, I believe, who is not in the race, so he should be paying attention. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, I was calling the wrong race director. Sorry. He's responding back to that one, so we'll keep because we're interested to know, of course, because we have a few other drives getting close to those. We've got 16 for Paul, 15 for Eric. It's running in P3, so yeah, once again, 17 there for Joel Amos in P13 place, 29 there for Daniel in number 5 in P16, and he's only been in pit lane once, so that's we're checking those penalties, well, the drive-throughs, of course. That's off tracks once again out there. We got everybody. If it's 22 of those off tracks should equal a drive-through penalty. We're double confirming it.
Yeah, I'm just checking.
It is, but just check how long that they have before they have to serve it. Because you have to serve it before the end of the race. So if this is a drive-through penalty, it can't be added to the time of the end.
No, he's just responding to it now. So let's see what he can come up with and see how long they do have to have it here. But still got this battle with Stefan Scheen and Mike Busan. I want to check the times here between Mr. Kiriakopoulos and Mr. McHutchinson is only 26 seconds. Not enough time to go in and come back out again, I don't believe. I think Dennis is going to have to get his boots on to see if he can, how quickly he can have, he's got to open up a gap, mate. He's got to open up the gap.
I just realized, and the lights are on. I don't know if you just noticed it because, the sun has set. Well, actually, the Earth is rotating away from the sun at the moment. It's the other way around. The sun's not setting. Let's get a science lesson, but somebody's showing us out. Oh, that's in the pit lane. Two drivers in the pit lane. I'm listening on the scoreboard. No, that's just the telemetry playing its tricks on us.
Yeah. It does have its moments, does the lovely telemetry program. So we will keep an eye on that one. Miles Owens and Joel Amos here are lots in the battle. Look, just in time here as we go down. That's Ray Peasley in front of us. Going up the hill into Remos. Amos at the back. Owens on the left. Peasley on the right. Running up. Oh, into Remos we go. That is Miles Owens. Oh, he's tightened it up. He tightened up the inside and he's managed to get through on Ray Peasley. But Peasley's coming back over the run up to the top of the hill. Coming down, dropping into Schlossgold turn 3 now. Left-hander. Off camber they go. And Miles Owens manages to hold it. So, okay, well, Sandro's come back and basically has come back. He said, not in, basically, iRacing might just throw a DQ on them if they don't take the drive-through. I don't believe they managed to set that up, but here is Owens and Peasley side by side running around the second to last corner. Now with Amos sitting there in tow, waiting for these guys to, oh, there he goes. There goes Peasley. Oh.
has got on the power again. Luckily, didn't look like he's lost any other places further back. You see, he has right there, of course, of the number 1 car. But yes, it's a racing. It's called a motor race, and we still have plenty of it to go. Of course, we're 50 minutes into this, and it's definitely going to get darker. It also, as you know, for endurance racing, of course, for 24 hours and stuff like that too, those lights start to really play an effect as you, isn't it? Because you have to spot your braking points a little bit differently. It's harder to focus. It needs more concentration.
Yeah, exactly. And I think these cars are tricky enough, as it's showing here at the moment. Not only that, obviously going into the dark as well. They're going to have to be even more careful. As I say, current local time is 8:30 in the evening. 8:30 in the evening there, Biggles. So they're going to have to be a little bit careful.
Yeah, I guess it won't be completely dark. I'm not sure if you did manage to catch the Nuremberg 24-hour race. It was one of those cars that caught on fire, and then the driver jumped out, and they tried to extinguish it, and then the car, it obviously didn't have a handbrake on or something like that. The car went scooting down the road by itself on the racetrack.
On fire?
Yes.
Oh, well, that must
and then they had to run down, and luckily it ended up parking into the fence, but obviously it did block a lot of the track there for a bit. It's one of those moments that you see. The driver was out, the car, of course, and safe. It was just the car was by itself doing its own thing, saying, we don't need humans to drive us anymore.
Then again, it's like the horse races, isn't it? They get rid of their mounts, mate, and then they carry on running.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? He just carries on running, and he's like, I'm off. I don't need you. I can go and win this on my own.
Yep, and they would too, of course, but you need a jockey on there as they're jockeying their way around for these positions at the moment. And as you can see, that's Stefan Scheen. That's the other Norwegian driver. He's got a little bit of the old Mike star. Mike has really been the powerhouse this evening, hasn't he? He's been in the wars of almost everybody. That goes to show that driver has pace. And look at the way he took the exit out of that corner as well, too. Didn't have to go as wide. Just staring down Norwegian driver right now, trying to force him into a mistake so he can capitalize on it, that P3 position. P4, sorry.
Yeah, they're coming up here. So it's going to be an interesting one to see what Mike does, to be fair, because as you say, here he is on this run down into Sloshgold now with Stefan Scheen in front of him. 0.3 and closing 2.928. You can see it on the left-hand side as we head down into Sloshgold now. Mike trying to he's got to set Stefan up somewhere, Biggles, isn't he? He's got to set him up to make the move and then kind of get him through. But I think I've seen the problem is with Mike. We've seen this before at Mo Sports in the endurance. He was behind, I think it was Paul Crabb. And he just didn't get kind of close enough and almost, where you're going to make the move, you pick them up and stick them in your pocket and hope for the best as you send it on the inside. It's a bit of a tricky one with Mike. Sometimes it doesn't quite get the moves done where, we would thought he would do.
You're absolutely right. I'm just keeping an eye on those time deltas as well, too, because those leaders at the moment, lapping 25.3s, 25.2 there from Andrew, so he's gaining a little bit there on Dennis. But these other guys are in the, the late 25s, so they're compromising a little bit of time if they want to try to do something about getting up to the sharp end of this race. But we do expect or predict perhaps that Dennis will have to go back in again. We're not quite sure about if Andrew does, and whether or not the two Norwegians that are running in P3 and P4,
now,
which you can see there.
Yeah, I can guarantee this young Scottish gentleman there trying to track down Paul Crabb, who's got about 2.8 seconds, has pulled his normal trick where he's filled right up. So I can guarantee for the splash and dash at the end, he probably won't even splash. It'll just go in, it'll stop, and it'll go back out again. So it's going to be worth keeping an eye on Mr. McHutchinson to see what he does. So he's going to be the man to watch.
And the good thing about it is that you can see him on the track map, right? That's the 8 dot, the green one. Mm-hmm. And he's got clear air, he's got traffic. So it's just, he could just got to sit there and put his time into the deltas and not have to worry about somebody up the road just yet throwing him off. He will start to catch that bit of traffic there. Well, not really a traffic course. That's the 7th car of Crabb. But Crabb's pretty much pacing around the same time. So that shouldn't be too much of a problem. He's just got to sit there and just chip away at it, and knowing that his strategy should definitely pay off towards the end there with a full tank. Remember, he'll be a bit slower because he's got a full tank of gas, but at the moment, he's lapping still pretty good, I'd say. 125 flat. 125.1, actually. That was pretty much the quickest lap over everybody.
Yeah.
Yep, it was in the last lap, so
Yeah,
I was going to say. Even with a full tank of gas, he's doing pretty good.
Yeah, he's got the 125, as you say, 125.097. But he seems to be making it work for him, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's going to be at the top end towards the end of the race, barring any issues, of course. As we can see, Mike and Stefan. Mike has managed to clear Stefan Scheen, and let's show you how that happened here. Oh,
yeah, it's just that pressure,
mate.
Wasn't it, from Mike? Oh. Yeah, there it is. He was very lucky not to spin there, I'd have to say. Of course, with Mike following like that. That's what Mike was doing, wasn't it? Mike was just staring him down all that time, just comfortable. You didn't see him actually, trying to send a dummy or even like anything like that. He wasn't trying for an overtake. He was just trying to force the Norwegian into a mistake, and it has paid off for him, his strategy. Now he can get on with it and get up the road there. He's about 4 and 8 change to catch Mr. Eric, the other Norwegian. So he's having a few Vikings here for evening dinner.
Yeah, Mike Buson there really. He's definitely not going into McDonald's, is he? Grabbing a burger. He's grabbing a Viking burger.
But the thing is, coming back, of course, because Vikings don't give up, my friend. They don't. They keep coming back. I know the Viking references, but it's both anyway. I mean, remember, UK practically it's not a history lesson. It's a motor race. He held him off, but in the turn 3.
Yeah, but that was that tricky one as well, wasn't it? Mike was on the inside. Stefan was trying to take him around the outside. Couldn't get that run again. But he's looking now on this down in the slush go to see if he's going to get this done now. He's not. He's going to be there or thereabouts, though. He's going to be sat behind Mike again for at least another half a lap. Again, I would say turn 1. Turn 1 to turn 3. Biggles, what do you reckon? It's got to be the place to do it, isn't it?
Yeah, I think turn 3 is the key, isn't it? At the top of the hill. Because that's where you can really just try to break a little bit later. You can track the different lines into there, how confident you are. Obviously, be very careful on how gritty you are on the gas, but the loud pedal as you slap it as you come out of the corner. But but there's now a reverse situation, isn't it? Because now Stefan can just put the pressure back on. Do you, as a race driver, some people, do you like to be the one that's chased, or do you like the one chasing?
No, I'm a chaser.
Yeah?
Yeah, I can't be chased, mate. I can't be dinner. I can't be the prey. I have to be the lion, because it just gets me all nervous, and I get all twitchy, and then I just get all shaky, Biggles, and then it all goes wrong, and I put it in a wall.
So here we go. So it's the run up to the top of the hill. And is he going to send it here? I think he is. Yeah. Is he? Yep, he's going to commit to the inside down. Now he's got to get the power down. And he's gone a little bit wide. I think that was a nice overtaken opportunity. Now they could be coming back at this. They are. Obviously, it's going to go back to your right-hand corner coming up as well, too, for your turn 4.
Mike,
so who's coming into the inside?
He's gone up the inside. Bruson's taking him again. These guys having this absolute epic scrap.
Can he come back here? Because this is when it swings over to the left sides. So this is, he's got to brake a little bit earlier here. He's got another left-hand turn coming up. The only 2 left-hand turns. Get on the power, and but look at the exit speed. That could be an off-track as well, too, I'd have to say, for Mike. But they're going to commit themselves into the final couple of corners. This is fantastic. I love that little kink of the road here. But now you got 2 right-hand corners coming up. And he hasn't got it done. Mike had covered him off.
Yeah, Bruson
tell you what, put an effort.
Yeah, Bruson's he's still managing to hold him. He's still got 4th, but Stefan now, look at it coming back. Round the last corner on this run up into turn 1. If he doesn't get it done here, I think it's going to be another turn 3 run up the hill. What can Stefan do, and whether or not he can hold at the back end of Mike Buson? He looks like he's got a good run. He's got a good exit there, Biggles. He's heading up the hill now. Can Stefan Scheen take this position away from Mike Biggles? Mike Biggles? That's because I was talking to you, Biggles. Look at that. You're in the car, sir.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be following this close. I'd probably be slapping the back of him and saying, oops, my bad. But no, he didn't go for it there. He was close enough, but I didn't think he wanted to go off. He got that traffic up the road now. that may very well come into play. Well, that's actually that is not. That would not be Eric, would it? Because Eric's 8 seconds or 6 seconds on the road. That's hard to see.
Yeah, that's Eric Hanoi.
Yeah.
He's got.
It is.
That is the lapped car of one of the Madai boys. I believe that's Cascado. It is. Daniele Cascado there in 19th with Eric Hanoi, who is currently in third place. There is Eric. But here is that battle as these guys still resuming it. Round the exit of Worth now, the second left-hander, as they're going on now to the second to last corners. Oh, do you reckon there's frustration in Stefan's car? Biggles like, is he going to be chomping at the bit to try and get past him?
He would have to because
Mike's got in.
Oh,
sorry, dude.
I was
There,
gonna
Mike,
say.
he just cut his nose straight off.
Oh, was that forced into the pit? I have to check the replay of that, because I was just looking at the pit stop times. They were equal practically on 103s.
Yeah, let's have a look. There is Mike. He just comes around that last corner. Watch, he just goes straight across.
Yeah, I wonder if that was intentional going to the pit lane or he did.
Oh, yeah.
If you tried to correct, you could have gone to the fence. That's interesting. But now, yeah, that's one we'll have to find out from Mike later.
Yeah, there is Stefan. It's just going up around turn 3 now. And off he goes on his way. He's cleared Mike Buson. And, well, Mike kind of helped him out on that one, didn't he, I think. But here, look at Peasley and Gluskick, last season's champion, with a newcomer this year, Ray Peasley, still having that battle. That is for currently 15th and 16th. There's battles all the way through. They're not giving up, these guys, despite the fact that they're down in 15th place.
We did expect them to definitely have nice battles, of course, because you can see that track map. It's practically almost spread out there, so there's going to be action all over the place, including, obviously passing back markers and things like that. Another pit stop there. Gary's gone in the pit stop, and Ivan, the Dutch driver with that Dutch Army grandstand that's out there somewhere, he's been in the pit lane for a long time now. He's used his fast repairs. He's been in there for I think he's gone and had a bit of tea and scones or something like that.
Yeah,
I'm not
cake.
sure what tea and cake. Well, I'm not sure what you have in the Netherlands. I've lived in the Netherlands as well too, but I'm not quite sure what the actual local.
I don't know.
Somebody could let us know out there.
I
can't remember what it was.
I'm sure it's probably not tea and cake. I'm sure it comes in a cafe and you can roll it up. But the thing is, with Ray Peasley, we were talking about these battles this further down the field, and people don't always get into the concept of why people are battling this far down. Even for Ray Peasley in 15th place currently, he still scores 13 points. So,
and plus, you're committing all this time, and it's fun. So you're going to go for it. I mean, it doesn't matter where you finish at the end of the day. It's how you finish. Finishing the race is the most important thing. Well, it's an endurance race, and every single time we do this, it's experience, isn't it?
Exactly. And at the end of the day, if he's still got, I've got him. What have you got down on incidents for Peasley? Because I've got him on 3 here, 3 off tracks. What have you got?
Yes.
3?
I got him on 4.
So he'll still score an extra 3 bonus points. So currently, he's down in 15th, but he could get 16 points here if he can stay at the limit he is. So he might as well.
He's teaching these young dogs new tricks.
Oh,
that's what it is, mate. Yeah, he's like, I've been doing this a while, young guys. That's why you get too greedy, you go off track. I could drive this thing around and not even spill my coffee.
Oh,
kind of thing.
We wish that was even possible. Current gap from Dennis to Mr. McHutchinson. It's gone down to 22 seconds. And here is John making his way back up through the field and is currently in 6th place. He's going to have to get... John's
caught him. He showed a second out of him that last lap. The only other person that's in the same times was Andrew running in P2. So that's a 25 club, 25 flat. And here it is. That's a little bit of a too easy, isn't it? Overtake there.
Marco didn't really part the fight. Ivan Bramer is in chat and said, I got out. He had a 22x within the first 17 laps.
That's why, and anyway, it's just the Dutch driver out there.
That's why he's been in the pits
talking about
for half an hour.
Anyway, mate, sorry about that. You can't, races go all the way, but he's still in the pits.
He's still
Are
in
you
the
out,
pits.
actually?
Are you out?
Yeah,
Is it quit out? I think I've still got him as registering in the pits.
Yeah, get back out there and put some laps in, mate. When the car does get fixed, okay. You help get out of the car and help the engineers patch it up, mate. Bit of gaffer tape, bit of duct tape.
And you've still got free fast repairs, Ivan Bramer, and you've not been in the pits that many times. Don't tell me that you've just given up already.
Yeah, it's true. Second pit stop, so it can't be.
No, it can't be. He's you know what I mean. Second.
And Ivan, tell me what the traditional Dutch meal is as well too, because I forgot.
Oh yeah, what's it? Yeah, Biggles is interested to know what a traditional Dutch food would be that you would be sat there eating.
Yeah, the British fish and chips and all that sort of stuff.
What's yours, Biggles? What's yours?
More curries now. Oh, in Australia, mate, it's like, I think it's like it's interesting, probably like a Sunday roast. Like that. Look at Horsewood at the moment, but getting pretty close there. Not sure why that timing's showing that. It should be, yes. That's correct, isn't it?
Yeah, it's correct. Yeah, it is. Horsewood's closed the gap down. But that would account for the fact that he was basically about 7/10 quicker than Kiriakopoulos on the last lap alone. So
yeah, exactly, because I mentioned he was doing 25 flat, as same as John.
Yeah, it's on
the Scotsman. So.
Yeah, 24.92 last lap for Andrew Horsewood. So Horsewood's here putting himself in, and he was in the pit lane. Well, we've obviously got different times here with this one. But Horsewood was in the pit lane about 8 seconds quicker than Dennis.
Everybody else is correct apart from Dennis. Dennis has showed me a little quicker than all the other drivers. But give or take, it's around that. We know it was a quick pit stop. We know he's probably not going to go to the end.
Yeah,
Here's a run now.
He's going to have to go again.
So we just saw a pit stop there from Colin. Yeah. So that's a second pit stop around. We did see a pit stop before that. We didn't know whether it was deliberate or not there from Mike. But could this be the second round of pit stops that we are expecting for some of the drivers here in about an hour? We have 30 minutes of this race to go now. Yeah,
we got just literally that remaining as we see Horsewood now on this way down into turn 3. Colin winning in for his second one. He's still in, mate. But it's a long old time at the moment for a quick second pit stop for 25-minute ending.
Yeah. They got free fast repairs.
Free
it's
fast
still
repairs.
20. He's 122 and sitting there at the moment. So out finally. Wow, it must have been a lot of gas to take.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So considering you have 30 minutes to go, you wouldn't think you'd ever be filling up that much, but
no, definitely not. Definitely not, but this is your closest battle currently on the circuit, guys, as well. Dennis Kiriakopoulos in first, Andrew Horsewood in.
Into the pit lane. Yes.
Oh,
what happened to Horsewood?
Well, I'm going to have to try and
have
a look and see how close that actually was. Here, there is Kiriakopoulos in front.
So is he locked up? Oh, but it's because of the pit lane entrance. That's what's happened. Now, you usually go through that in driver briefings, don't you? Because it's a tricky pit lane entrance. You have to brake, obviously, a little bit earlier to go into the pit lane. It's caught the other driver off. That would be probably investigated, likely, after the race. But these drivers are aware of that. They go through these briefings. They say, okay, be very careful if you're going to go into the pit lane. But what do you do, too? You have to slow down, right? And you're in a battle like that. You're ahead of the car. You got to dive in the pit lane. But we saw that, didn't we? A few incidents earlier where people almost binned it into the pit lane entrance. So, I don't know. Let's just tell Austria to change the pit lane entrance. The track because it's not too much. They did it actually for Baku, believe it or not, for this race coming up as well, too. They changed the pit lane entrance.
For where? Sorry?
For Baku for the Formula One.
Yeah.
This the next race coming up, of course. Because it was certainly called off as being dangerous. But yeah, that's I don't know, guys. That's a 50-50 either way you want to see that one. But either way, at least no driver went into the fence.
Well, this is also true. We have got Lee Green. He is currently in the pits there. Andrew Horsewood is the current leader. Everybody is a lap down up until Joel Amos in 11th place. So there's some very quick drivers here with Horsewood, Hanoi, Scheen and McHutchinson lapping, half the field.
Yeah, I just missed those pit stops there while I was talking about it. Exactly. So that might tell me, because Dennis has gone back in. He's come back out in 10th place, right? Is it?
He's in, there you go. Look, Dennis there in 7th. So
but Crabb's got in the pit lane.
So Dennis is going to get this position back. Tolman hasn't made his second. McHutchinson hasn't, but I'm not expecting him to stop.
He just set the fastest lap. McHutchins.
Yep.
On that one. So I don't think he's going to be planning on fuel saving to the end here. I think that was, you called it, didn't you?
Yeah.
You called it.
I think
he's got traffic, but he's got to get a few overtakes done here.
I think he's done what he done last time.
Mm.
I honestly believe he's pulled this out of the bag and done what he did last time. Filled up right the way to the end on his first stop, and he's literally going to, well, he's not even going to splash and dash. He's just got to go in, stop the car, and carry on again. So I think McHutchinson there has pulled out his normal master stroke here in the endurance race, and I wouldn't be surprised if he manages to jump Andrew Horsewood, who's still not made his second stop either. So it's definitely going to be a close one here with these guys. As you see, Eric Hannoy's just gone in as well. So this is another place for John to gain up.
Look at that. Oh, he's going in. He's going in the pit lane. That was not an accident.
No.
Because he was following, I was about to take the Norwegian drive. And so is he reacting knowing that they can't go to the end? You do know he's big braining this moment for sure, and thinking he could be going for just a fresh set of boots here probably. Let's check his pit stop time.
This is what he's got to do. Look, we'll see whether or not he stops and gets up.
Because what is the longest time, the fuel or the tires?
They both do both at the same time.
Yeah, okay.
So Kiriakopoulos has gone past him. No, I'm not seeing him go up either, but Kiriakopoulos has gone past him.
Yes. And he had just took his pit stop earlier.
How's he
got?
So
he's the leader of the second stop. So this is a long pit stop. What is going on? Did he get damage?
No, he's got nothing. Has he got to stop and go?
He's got pass repair. So, oh yes, he does. He does. I forgot completely about it. We've got all those penalties, so those off tracks, of course. Yes, and I'm going to go through that at the moment. That's what it is.
I don't get it. It should be a drive-through, not a stop and go.
He's on 17, actually. He's on 17 warnings, not 22.
So he isn't got, but he's...
Oh, yeah, he's on 1 minute and change at the moment. It's still clicking over, and what do you use? It's out. And that you can't be... I didn't even see tyres getting changed. Is that fuel? What? We don't know what's going on. Team radio.
That can't be John McHutchinson there. That's a 1:28 for stop 2. It's put him down in 11th.
Yeah, remember he took that long pit stop for the first one. And so that's 2 very long pit stops.
David, what was easy to do at this track? Yes, mate, we are seeing that now. But the interesting thing is now the pendulum has swung back with Mr. Kiriakopoulos, because at the moment he's got, well, saying that, he has got 41 seconds over Andrew Horsewood. So if we're theoretical, and I love to do a little bit of physics here and theoretical physics, Andrew Horsewood should be able to go in, get his second stop done, and get out before Dennis comes round.
But the problem is, just to let you know, he's got 35 off-track excursions, so 22. He's definitely got a drive-through penalty.
He's definitely got a drive-through now.
Or be disqualified at the end of the race, so he's got to have to serve that at some point. Stefan's on 12, that's in P2, but he's got to probably get some new boots in town or gas. And Marco in P3, he's on 33, and he's got to serve a penalty. So this is definitely a first or second, hard to say for Dennis, if he can just bring this one home. And don't forget Paul.
Yeah.
Again, Paul still has to make a pit stop.
Paul. He's still got his second stop today. Now, David Walters has put in speeding on pit entry. Do we know? We don't know for sure what it is that made Mr. John McHutchinson have a 1:28 pit lane time for his second stop.
Does it show you that in the software? Just sorry to cut you off there, so I can check that, or
the pit lane time?
Yeah, the pit lane speeding.
It doesn't, unfortunately, no. I don't have that access on that one because it's a little bit over.
No problems. Just want to clarify that one. But thank you very much for guys out there asking questions, because we don't know up in the casting box at the moment as the Earth is starting to rotate a little bit away from this track here in Austria and Spielberg, but still. We don't know if these drivers can go to the end. If they could. We don't. I mean, Stefan and Marco could very much go to the end, mate. I know that Marco has 34 seconds of off track, so he's got that 5 second coming. But Stefan now leading this race. Actually, it's Horsewood.
Yeah, Horsewood's still in first.
But yeah, but Stefan, Horsewood's got 36 seconds, 36 penalties points. So Stefan in P2 could win this race
Have
if he
you
can
got
make it go to the end.
I think, is that with contacts or is that just off tracks? Because even on
Just
mine,
off track, sorry. Oh, is there other things? Should we look,
well,
should
no,
look at or?
you should, if you've got incident, like general incident points, so spins, stuff like that. Because even on mine, Andrew Horswood is still sitting on. I must have.
He's going in the pit
lower
lane
phone.
anyway, mate. Now, so he's going in. So that chances of maybe winning the race might be. Yeah. We don't know. It's not over yet.
Maybe possible. Ivan in chat. No, turn 1, turn 3 just don't make sense to me. That's what he's put, and that's why he's sitting in the pits and he's not coming back out. However,
Did you? Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Maybe
Did you forget turn 2, mate? Turn 2's the most important one. That's that little kink in the track.
Yeah, don't forget that. If you're in a bike, mate, apparently that pays a big difference for the MotoGP. As we see Stefan Scheen, he's just gone in on his way out again. There you go.
Quick stop.
Yeah, second is going to be what 40. What's he on? 46 seconds exit time.
Oh, I'm showing 23. That's weird.
Pit stop time. Yeah, 15. Pit lane time.
No,
46.
pit stop time for me is 14 and 23. Anyway.
Oh, okay.
It was quick, put it that way, and it has put him back out into P7-ish. Yes.
Yeah. But
There we go. So Andrew's gone in. This is the last route of pit stops.
Is he going to stop though, or is he going to take his drive-through? Because he must have a drive-through by now.
Joel is in as well behind him, and Joel's got 26 seconds. But he got 26, and well, I'm not quite sure as in the OTs of clarifying whether or not that is 22 of that. Well,
Joel's just
obviously it'll be
Joel's gone and splashed and got out again. Marco's in now. Marco is currently got the option. He's just taken the lead of the race. Can Dennis as well. This is the battle we're going to want to keep an eye on. Can Dennis get in front of Andrew Horswood as we're coming into the last 15 minutes of the race? Andrew's back out, mind you. There is Andrew Horswood. So he's managed to hold on to second place.
Yeah, because you look at the gap, it was 40-something seconds at the moment. But, and Dennis, they're running in P3, got that down to 10 now on Andrew, who's at that pit stop, as you mentioned. But Marco, now getting 10 positions, that's Marco Tolman. He's the Dutch driver. He's yet to make that pit stop. So in the top 3, he's the only one that hasn't. Can he stretch that to the end? Well, he got 20 minutes, 10 minutes.
He's only got 5 minutes, though. He's got to take that mandatory second stop. But as you say, he doesn't have to go in and do anything. He can just go in, stop at the gap, stop in his box, and off he goes if he's got enough fuel. Within that 2 second or however long he's got to stop for. But they've got to take that within the last 10 minutes of the race, or before the last 10 minutes of the race. Otherwise,
we've got 13 to go. So he's gone in now. So there it is.
There you go.
And look at the battle that you're seeing at the moment too between P5, and that's Andreas, I think. Well, that's the first time we've seen him from the Team Viking team this evening. Well, we've got the camera on at least, but he's battling it up. And but then again, he's also hasn't taken a pit stop.
No.
I'll give you an idea. His warnings is 12, so he's looking good.
He's got in now, as we see. Liliode gone in from Team Vikings. He's gone in. Marco Tolman is in. So we've only got Paul Crabb, who's yet to take his second stop, and theoretically he's only got 2.5 minutes to get this second stop in before the 10-minute time limit. Stefan Scheen makes his way back up into 4th as we see Tolman and Liliade go down into 6th and 7th respectively. So we're into that last 13-minute window now. Biggles, this is all going to hot up and get really exciting.
It will, because now we're going to get an idea once everybody's coming in and out, and it'll be back onto full racing conditions of these guys to go to the end. And that's another interesting thing, because who was it, as you said, Paul Crabb? He's just showing 23 for me for off track, so he could be on the cusp of that 22. It wasn't 22 off track, is it? It's 22 on other things, but and that's obviously bringing Dennis into play, hasn't it? But Andrew, I was surprised, really got that little bit of a jump there on Dennis because of that last pit stop, wasn't it? 52 to 41, I'm showing.
No, I haven't seen Andrew take his penalty. Even for me, it's showing up as 22. So he's got to be near or nearabouts on that limit. He must have to be. But we'll try and bring you the results up at the end, and then we'll have a look back and see if they've registered on the iRacing results and see what the iRacing is picking up. Maybe they've got different software to me and Biggles that's not, ours may not be correct, but I'm pretty sure we are near enough on the ball generally every single time. So we've only got Paul Crabb. He needs to be looking at taking his pit stops within about a minute and 15 seconds.
Oh, he's got damage too. Look at that car. Look at the front.
Yeah.
Front right has a little bit of fender bender damage.
Yeah, he's
So
got to be doing. Oh, look at that car. Look at that. As we look back on Paul.
He's got the clear visor. We can see his eyes focusing on those braking points, of course. Keep it nice and sharp. It's another interesting thing is that we still don't know what happened to John. Now, John is lapping very quickly, 25.17, but he's running a P9 after starting on pole and practically leading most of the race. But that second pit stop costing a lot of time. We're not really quite sure. Basically two 1.5 minute pit stops is the reason why he's running all the way down there at the moment. He just...
It seems a bit of a weird one, that, mate. I might have to see if we can get him in, because it does seem a bit bizarre that it would take 1.5 minute near enough pit stops. Because obviously there didn't seem any reason for the 1:35 at the beginning to then compensate for the fact that he's needs a 1:20. What did he get? 1:28 pit lane time. Pit stop time was nearly a minute, unless he got to stop and go.
Yeah. And he's only got, but he's got, I'm showing 20 OTs, 20 off tracks. So he shouldn't have had to serve a penalty.
Yeah, I think, I don't know.
Andrew's at the moment up to 38. I'm seeing a few more flashing in, and these guys are.
Yeah, I've got him on 23 now. We must have a different, as I say, we must not be tying up together there, Biggles.
It's the cable all the way to. I'm from Australia, but it's the cable all the way to Panama. Perhaps there's a little bit of latency issue there going.
Yeah, it's not loving it.
My dingo's chewing on the cable again. Get away, my bloody dingo.
Yeah, get out of the way, mate. Get out of the way. But Andrew Horswood definitely, somewhere, at some point, must have at least had a drive-through. It must be showing up. If it isn't showing up, the system isn't working, Sandro. Sort it out, because obviously at the end of the day, we've got him as showing he must have a drive-through. Hopefully the drivers have got that warning, and Andrew goes around again. So nothing showing there. But I tell you what, further down the field, 18th here and 17th and 18th is Colin Wynn and Miles Owen. These guys have been hotting up. And again, they get points for being all the way down the last place man at 20th, Gary Truby. So he'll get points as well. So it's worth them carrying on. I'm trying to get that extra space at the end.
I love it as well, too. I mean, I race on a keyboard. Not in this game. It's impossible. But, for, say, the Formula 1 game, and even if I'm running around last, I don't mind getting lapped and stuff. It's just fun. I'm really just having fun there. It's doing it.
Hold on. Sorry.
Once again, as I said.
Hold on, Biggles. You what? You drive on a keyboard?
Keyboard. Yeah, of course. I don't drive very often, my friend. Too busy casting. But yes, I mean, you can't drive this on the keyboard. It's in the battle at the moment. They're between 17th and 18th. But tracks like Singapore are great. It's left, right, pretty much full. But you go to likes of Silverstone and Spa, you can forget it. I'm in Radeon every time.
Dude, I'm sitting here.
I could get a steering wheel.
Steering wheel.
I don't want to get a steering wheel because then I'll have to drive and spend my money in the investment, and then I don't have the time. I'm gonna just sit there and have the steering wheel sitting in the cupboard.
Owens is coming up. He's sending it up. He's sending it up in turn 3. Oh, he got a slide on there. Don't forget as well, these two had that coming together earlier on in the race. Colin Wynn, unfortunately, was involved in the Miles Owens spin. And Colin just literally went into the side, unfortunately. So these guys have had previous history, as we got about 7 minutes and remaining of this race. And
Paul Crabb did not go in.
He's still not in.
So, yeah, Eddie's time would be over to go in, I believe. So, we'll just serve it.
Oh, that'd be one to look out for there. Paul Crabb has... Well, we've only got it down as one pit stop, right? I've only got it down as one pit stop. You got
one pit stop, and then 23 off tracks that I'm showing, and we thought that could be very close to the 22 mark, because we're not 100% sure if it's that accurate. But on the cusp, he didn't go in, so might be looking quite good for a podium.
Neither has Stephen Place at the moment. He's showing us he's only got one pit stop. So there could be a couple of drivers under the naughty step on the naughty step here in the stewards box after, with Paul Crabb and Stephen Place, both from Team Radline as well.
Well, it could be careful too, because they could get a disqualification if they have not served it.
So it's going to be an interesting
As far as
one.
I got the information there from our race control that they were aware of the situation, so
Yeah, we'll have to see how that one pans out, I think, young sirs. We're coming into the last, 6 minutes?
6 and 2. Yep, got it on my Steam Deck. It shows up. My mouse even flashes when you get to the penultimate lap and things like that.
Does it?
It's great. Yep, my Razer mouse. I didn't even set that up, but it automatically does it. It starts flashing when it's green flag. It flashes a checker flag, stuff like that.
I think me and you are going to have to talk here, mate, because mine does nothing apart from blue, green, yellow, and purple RGB.
Really?
Yeah, that's about it.
I think it's got it set up to your profiles with the games, but yeah, I mean, it did it automatically for me, but you could probably do it. I mean, I've even got RAM colors and GPU colors that can actually go to the game as well, believe it or not. Oh, it always throws me off when I see something that says they're out. Andrew's still leading this race from Dennis and Paul. There's your top three.
I've still got him down. He's still out in front by about, well, what is he at the moment? He's still got him at about 10 seconds over Dennis there. I still can't see that he's pulled out this drive-through. Maybe we're just missing it. I don't know. We'll have a look on the iRacing after and see what the results say.
Paul did not do a drive-through. Yeah, we don't know if Andrew did his drive-through as well, because his last pit stop was a 41.
Yeah. But Paul, I've only got on 15 off tracks. I don't know about what you're showing up on your end.
Shows 23 for me, my friend. So that's where we're at. Yeah. But the maybe didn't go in, so we're assuming that unless he's going to get disqualified, that third step on the podium still looks pretty good as beautiful, iconic scenery, isn't it? Look at that, and the Austrian Alps is just amazing. I love the attention to detail. Some of the iRacing is just brilliant sometimes, isn't it? With the graphics and obviously the cameras and jazz like that you could do.
Yeah, you got the.
And when that weather comes, my friend, it's either going to be a friend or foe to some of these drivers.
What do you reckon? What do you think on the weather situation in iRacing? Because we were
love it. I mean,
told last season we were going to get it. We haven't had it. It's in other games. It's been in other games for a while. F1 have had it for ages, you know.
Yeah.
So
they'll do it. It's just that obviously, I think the good thing about it is that they're being patient. They're taking their time, and then going to do it right. There's no point in fools rush in, doing it and setting it up all wrong and disappointing your massive community of iRacing drivers that commit a lot of time, obviously, and equipment and money in this not game simulator. And then if they mess it up and they initially release it and everybody's unhappy with it, it's not going to win them any brownie points. So I'd say continuously do it and do it properly and then release it. Yeah. If it takes another year or two, that's what it will take.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. Don't worry, guys. We did correct ourselves. We know it's not a game. Biggles did backtrack to the word simulator.
Yes, simulator, of course. Yeah, F1 is the game, of course, and the other ones, of course. But yeah, no.
So we are,
as I said.
Yeah, it is definitely.
Because, we've spoken about this before. There are many drivers now coming from the simulator world, stepping into real cars and doing real good performances.
That's also casters as well, Biggles. Don't forget, people going from the simulator world as commentators into the real world. Yeah,
it's true. Yep.
It is.
Been on that. Oh, Jimmy Broadband, of course, as a actual online celebrity is going into motor racing. There's a few people, but I can't drive GT3 cars around, of course, with my Skyline that I had, but not these cars.
No, I couldn't drive these. Obviously, Joseph Lowick is another one who I know from a previous league in the F1 simulator world. He drives in current F4, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he drives in
awesome.
Currently. He was up at Thruxton, where I was planning on going up, and I do owe Joseph an apology because I did say I was likely to get up until my good wife decided that I need to go shopping. So
shopping's always first.
Yeah.
And besides, actually, what the wife says is always
it's
first.
Always first, yeah. And look at the lap time. John McHutchinson putting in a 1:24.82 as we come in
3 seconds and change down the road.
I believe we're going to be near or nearabouts the final lap of the race. Barney's not waving. We're going to have at least 2 more before Andrew Horswood there looking at coming across the line with a 10-second gap. Daniele Cascado and Gluskick there from the same team, Madai, are coming across the line. I'm sure I pronounce that wrong every single time. Their team.
The team orders that play here because no.
No, I can guarantee there's not team orders here between these guys.
They're going for it then, yeah, and that traffic up the road, or that's actually a racer up the road. No, it should be traffic, so we'll see.
I think that is actually Marco Tolman, if I'm not mistaken. It's just lapped. Yeah, these guys have been lapped.
So that's going to come into play for them. That's an opportunity, you'd have to say, because we've got to make a move around there. Now, where are they going to get, allow those cars to pass? That's the thing, because if it comes up to a corner situation, which it is right now up at the top of the corner, turn 3, but he won't get in the way there. Now, he's either going to have to lift off and let him pass here or battle it up into turn 4.
Now, this is a battle for position for 14.
Oh, this is actually for position, you're right.
14,
I can see the
15.
track map now. Sorry, mine.
That's fine. So I don't think here, as we see Cascado going to look at, I don't think he's going to send it up the inside on his teammate. Surely. I don't think that. Oh no, I can't see team orders. Biggles, I can't see team orders.
It looks like that rear wing's bent a little bit up on the left-hand side, as you can see as well too. So he might have copped a bit of damage.
Yeah. So
but anyway, back up to the leaders, of course, and then they're getting close.
Fast last lap of the race.
Let's see if my mouse flashes.
Does it flash?
It should in a minute, as if it goes to the penultimate lap.
Yeah, we are on the last lap.
Oh, this is the last lap?
Yeah.
I haven't got any information yet.
Oh,
no.
mate. Yeah, last lap of the race.
Yeah.
Here we go with last lap of the race. Andrew Horswood is currently out in front. There you go. There's the flag man and Barney. Barney waving his head off. No, man.
Is it Barney?
Barney, the flag bearer.
I didn't know that Barney. Oh, look at it. He's got the damage on the left-hand rear. And he's still got some serious pace. It obviously hasn't affected the suspension of the car, but this is it. They're going to come down. They're definitely motor racing. There's no number 1, number 2 driver in this team yet, of course.
Not yet.
This is only round 3. We still have obviously more rounds to go.
Oh, that's Cascado got through.
Yeah.
Cascado took the position on the last lap for 14th from his very own partner in crime, Nia Gluskick. Here as well, as we will follow our leader Andrew Horswood here. Gluskick's had none of it. He's looking at trying to come around the outside as they head round Schlossgold. Surely they're not going to make contact, but we're going to jump back to Andrew Horswood. He takes the victory in the 90-minute enduro race here from the Red Bull Ring. Dennis Kiriakopoulos comes across the line in second place. There is Dennis. Across the line he goes. Paul Crabb comes across in third. I've still only got him on 1 pit stop. That will be an interesting conversation for the stewards. Stephen Scheen is 4th. He's coming across the line there, the Norwegian. No issues for him. Eric Hanoi coming across the line in 5th. Marco Tolman in 6th. Stephen Place and is in 7th. Wow. Where did Mike Bousson go? He ended up being lapped.
Stephen, but Stephen. He's been disqualified, I think. Stephen Place, no, is there in P7.
Yeah, but he's only a 1.
Yeah, 9 positions gained, the biggest gainer, apart from Lee, let's say, down at P12, but he's still yet to cross the line.
David Rolliston comes across
he
the
has
line.
Actually, yeah. No, Lee has been the biggest gain, 12 positions, but in the top 10 there, Stephen Place.
I think there's definitely going to be some interesting conversations here, because I've still only got Stephen Place on 1 pit stop and Paul Crabb.
That's no, I'm showing him. Yeah, you're right. Exactly. There is 1 apiece there, so very interesting. So, and Stephen Place had Stephen is showing 17 off tracks, and for Paul I'm showing 24. So yeah, it was obviously on the cusp there. It might be okay. They didn't get disqualified from the session.
No, I have to have a look in the iRace and schedule results and see what they say. But here is the results for the final race, for race 3 here in the Red Bull Ring. Andrew Horswood takes the victory there in first place by 10 seconds over Dennis Kiriakopoulos. Paul Crabb in third. Will he hold the position though, as I've only got him at 1 pit stop? Stephen Scheen in 4th. Eric Hanoi in 5th. Marco Tolman in 6th. Stephen Place in 7th. Anders Liliode in 8th. John McHutchinson in 9th. Be interesting to see if we get John in the booth, find out what happened there with his second stop. David Rolliston in 10th place. Joel Amos in 11th. Lee Green down in 12th place. Ray Beasley in 13th. Daniela Cascado in 14th. Nia Gluskic in 15th. Mike Buson in 16th. Colin Wynn down in 17th place. Miles Owen in 18th. Damien G in 19th. Gary Truby down in 20th. David Tamira in 21st. Nathan Willoughby, Francesco Cascino, David Lawson, Ivan Bramer, or Frederick Riznik. I don't think Frederick actually started the race there. And Tamira, Willoughby, Cascino, and Lawson and Bramer did not finish. So there we go. Let's see if I can bring up. Is that going to jump? It's not. Let me just have a look and see if I can get the scheduled results and see what iRacing tell me. Which is a wonderful thing.
Yeah, what a crack of a race, and what a interesting, fantastic battles that we saw with a lot of those gladiators out there. And then, of course, when you throw that whole spanner in the mix after those first rounds of pit stops, the extra time that some took, the extra, and that jazz, and then later on with all those potential penalties kicking in there, really just threw everything around, didn't it? Because of the likes of John, we have no idea exactly what happened there. It was Dennis, I had to say, played a brilliant job, didn't he? I mean, his strategy, he had three pit stops there for the Swiss driver. And he was one of the first ones to box. Remember, gained a lot of those positions as everybody else went in. Well, and he went in back again, and yeah.
Well, our timing software must have been having an absolute mare bringing in off tracks there. And I'm going to see if I can get...
Right, actually.
Because
it wasn't even in balance with the pit stop times exactly with everything. But
this is the official iRacing one up on the broadcast. You'll see it very shortly at the moment. Andrew Horsewood is showing as he only had 14 incidents. So that's why he didn't go into the pits. Neither did Dennis Kiriakopoulos. He had 6. So when we were up, I think it must have been having an absolute nightmare because Miles Owens got 33, Gary Truby 36, David Tamira got 22, and David Lawson here had 27, Ivan Bramer 25. According to the official iRacing results on the incidents at Andrew Horse with Dennis Kiriakopoulos and Paul Crabb, they're taking the top 3. I'm going to push that off screen because I'm going to have a chat with Mr. Paul Crabb here. He's coming.
Just real quick, James. Is that well? We'll talk about it after, of course.
Yep.
I'll make a mental note. Anyway, yes, exactly. Interview is coming.
Yeah, interview's coming, and the first one in the booth is our very own Paul Crabb. Paul, how are you?
I'm fine, James. Doing good.
Sir, can I ask you a question?
You can.
I can. Good. Because how many pit stops did you take this evening?
2.
Now, we must have been having a mare there then, Biggles.
Oh, I've got 2 on my screen.
Have you? I've only got 1 on mine.
Yep. I've got 2 for... it came in 2. It was 1 at the start. Yeah, exactly. So it's crossed it and then it's updated with 2. So, Paul, I didn't even catch that one, mate.
No.
When did you take your first pit stop?
I took it when the tags were empty. And then it filled it to the end then. It's put bloody 56 litres on. And it was as heavy as a pig. So I then just drove through my pits and went out. So because I didn't need any fuel.
When was that at the end?
I don't know. It was about 15, 20 laps from the end.
Oh.
Something like that.
Well, our software must have been having a right absolute mare because we had people down at extortionately high off tracks. And then when we just checked iRacing results, it didn't have you as an off track. Well, it had you, but it did. But according to our software, you had 16. But when you go into the iRacing results, the official ones for the season, you haven't got that many. So I don't know. It was just having an absolute. We couldn't keep up with the off tracks tonight at some point as well. But generally, how was your race anyway, Paul? Because actually you had 17, so we were only 1 out, so we can't really moan too much.
17. Yeah, the first section was really good. I managed to keep Andrew behind me for a number of laps to let Mr. McHutchinson get away because he's now my teammate.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So that was the. I wasn't going slowly. Or I wasn't trying to block him, but I was going as fast as I could, but trying to keep him behind me. But it was inevitable because I wasn't getting a good run out of the first turn, and he always was. So I knew it was inevitable. We kind of bumped sideways a bit coming out of the hairpin, but I don't think either of us did any damage to each other, so it was okay.
Your racing was good, mate. You were in the wars a lot with a lot of drivers. You started in P3 and finished in P3. Is there any chance that with all those pit stops and stuff like that of beating perhaps Andrew and Dennis?
I could have perhaps. I got a little bit depressed after my first pit stop because I was way down and heavy, and I was going felt like a slug. And then after the second one, I thought, oh, it's not so bad after all. And then I saw Dennis was 3 ahead. But then I thought, yeah, I'll struggle to catch Dennis, and I did, and he just crept away from me. Even if I got up to him, I don't think there was any way I would have got past him. So I kind of settled for third in the last sort of third of the race.
P3 is good, mate. Yeah, you got the podium, you get a bit of champagne. And a real quick question before I head back over to you, James. Do you communicating with your teammate John at all? During the race?
No.
Okay, so you don't know the situation, what happened with him or anything?
No. I did attempt to get him on Discord, but we didn't manage it, and so the quali and the race was all done in silence. So yeah.
All right. Well, silence is gold for you, my friend. So the luck of the Irish there, finishing on. Yeah, congratulations. I've lived in Dublin before, man. Beautiful country as well too, and obviously beautiful people and beautiful results for you, man. P3.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen.
No worries. Just a quick update while I've got you here on John. He got 2 40-second stop and goes for cutting the pit entry.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's why he was so slow on his first and second. But Paul, congratulations, third place. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time out.
Yep, hopefully. Thank you, gentlemen.
Take care, mate. Right, let's bring in Stefan Scheen into the booth. Stefan, how are you?
I'm happy. I'm really happy, actually.
You're happy? You finished in 4th. You should be.
Yeah, I'm really happy. I didn't have the pace to be anymore. It was the best I could get, I think.
You reckon? You don't reckon you could have got any further up?
I don't think so. I don't think I had the pace. But so I'm really happy with 4th. And I was calculating the fuel correctly, so I had 0.4 liters after the finish. So that was good. So yeah, and only 3 incidents, I think. I had some no car contact, only some off tracks. So
I can tell you how many you had. Yes, you had 3 incidents.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
That's not bad considering Daniele Gary Truby had like 36 and Miles Owen had 33. So, you had 30 less than them guys. Terrific battle in the middle with Eric Hanoi. Eric, you and guys having this amazing battle there throughout the race. How did you find it all? It was a good old race. It's a long race, 90 minutes. We know that. Me and Biggles both sat here. We just talked for 90 minutes. You're the ones doing all the sweating. Explain to us, how did you get through this 90 minutes?
It's when it's so fun and things happening, then it's easy. It's harder when you are alone on the track and try to keep the concentration. But when you are behind or in front of a car, it's much easier. I drive with VR, so it's a bit tiring, but 90 minutes, it's a perfect stint, I think.
Yeah, definitely on that one. So we going on to Nords in the sprint, and we got Brands in the endurance, I believe. How do you get on at Nords? Do you like it?
Yeah, I like it, but I'm not good at it. And I need to work a lot this week, so I'm not sure if I have the time to train enough. But if I have time, I will join, and I will do as much as I can. But I will not be in the top, I think.
No, you give it your best shot there, Stefan. You never know, mate.
Yeah.
Never know.
Yeah, I will.
Nords is a tricky.
Yeah, mate. You got to give it that Viking spirit that you have. Now, you're not in the team Vikings that I'm showing you as a privateer, but you're. Yeah. It was a very good day, actually, believe it or not, for the Norwegians today, because I believe you're from Norway, because you all finished inside the top 10.
Yeah, cool.
And, are you buddies with the other guys? You live down the road and stuff like that? I'm only kidding.
No,
it's a big country.
I'm in a team with Anders Lillejorda, but Hanøy, I also know Hanøy a bit from the leagues in Norway, and also Ola. So yeah, I know them from Simracing.
And we were talking about before there about that with James about saying, because Norway's apparently the best place in the world to live. And I have a buddy from Norway, and it is, right? And you produce some pretty good drivers as well, mate.
Yeah, maybe
Driving is in the blood, isn't it, of the Vikings?
Yeah, I think so. The best place to sim race, maybe. I'm not sure.
There you go, Stefan. Thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations again on your 4th place.
Yeah, thank you.
You take care, mate.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Right, we're going to bring in Dennis Kiriakopoulos in to chat the 2nd place man in tonight's endurance. Dennis, how are you?
Hello, James. Very well, thank you.
Are you sweating, sir?
It's the usual question, right?
It's the bog standard question that I ask you every time, Dennis, because I think it was after our first interview you come in and said you were absolutely sweating. So I've got to ask you now, how did it go?
Quite smooth, to be honest. It was a good race, and not too much pressure except in the beginning, and from mid-distance it was like cruising, so it was okay.
It was okay, and at the end of the day, did you think you had the opportunity to take the victory? Because we did. We thought you could have got him in the pit stops.
Yeah, to be honest, Andrew was really very fast. I think on a few laps I could match his speed, but he does it consistently. Every single lap is a 25 flat, so I cannot match that.
We saw that actually. The only other person that was doing the 25 flats was John. But Dennis, that early pit stop really paid off for you, mate. The undercut worked really well to gain you a few places there.
Yeah, it was super crowded. I was like, we're losing time with those batters. Let's try to pit early. And I can't wait to see the replay to see how it played out.
You were on the cam a lot, so you got a bit of screen time, that's for sure. And it's still amazing that James can pronounce your surname brilliantly, because I at least still can't. I actually thought it was a Greek surname, but you're from Switzerland, I believe, right?
Yes, but it's indeed a Greek last name.
Oh, it is? Okay. All right. It did sound like that, of course, but yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. But yeah, you were very entertaining, mate, and definitely getting 2 positions, obviously starting from the 3rd place qualifying is a good result.
Yeah, it's very good. And when you look at the level of the field, I wasn't expecting such a position, so I'm really, really happy with the result.
And we're going in.
I have another quick question for you. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
One more quick question, and then obviously James, because this is just a random question, of course. Do you race with shoes, socks, or barefoot?
I race with the socks.
Okay, there you go.
Socks?
I always like to ask us random questions, of course, to drivers. But yeah, over to you, James. It's cold, of course, sometimes.
Yeah, but it's
I don't think that my setup I could race any differently, to be honest, because I have a G29, so I don't think it's suited for racing with shoes.
It is, Dennis. It does, because I have a G29 and I race in shoes. Actually, I've got a pair of boxing boots because they've only got a thin sole on. I use them on my pedals.
So maybe they'll give you an extra 2/10 or something like that
maybe.
on time there, Dennis. Maybe that's a secret.
Hey, get some boxing boots, mate. Get some boxing boots. Dennis, we're on to Nords in the sprint race next Friday. And then we're heading to Brands on the endurance. How are you going to find both of them? Because Nords is a tricky one.
Nords is a very tricky one. Yeah, a single mistake and you're out. It's really, the track doesn't forgive any mistakes. I think I'm gonna do well because I'm not used to do big mistakes, so can't wait for the track, for the race. I think I'm gonna do well.
Okay, well there you go. That's Dennis Kiriakopoulos feeling confident going into next week's sprint race. Dennis, congratulations on your 2nd place, and thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you very much, James and Dean.
Bye. Wow. That is Dennis Kiriakopoulos feeling very confident going into Nords, young sir. I don't know about you. I've been driven a few officials in Nords this week, and it's been quite an interesting one in the Radical, I've got to be honest. I have managed to finish all my races, so that was always good. Apart from my very first one, where some guy put me in the pits for 12 minutes. You know.
But James, where's my picture? I'm not a track map.
Where
I'll have to give you a picture. I'm stepping in last minute, of course, for the regular caster.
This is poor Tyler, as I say, had his 2nd booster, and it literally killed knocked him out, and unfortunately let me know we were talking about it all day, and I was like, dude, are you sure you're good? Yeah, I should be fine. I said, how's your voice? Because you're commentating. Because, Tyler normally sits in the background and does the production. And he went, oh, yeah, I don't know about that. And I was like, right, dude, I'll tell you what, look, just stay in bed. Stay in bed. I'll put out an SOS to my man Biggles. And, I'm sure, and then you jumped in last minute. So it's great to have you here, Biggles. It's been amazing.
Thank you very much. That's what I do. I'm always online. I never really leave the computer, even though I have a beautiful, I think it's rainy season, so I can't really go hiking and sort of jazz or bike riding. But yeah, it's been fun. Absolutely. I do apologize for not knowing what's going on. But yeah, keeping you company in the booth, it's what it's all about. Andrew obviously pulled off a great job there to get that pole position. But Dennis, yeah, I'd like to see that he's on a high, and you want to keep that momentum going into the next race, of course. From that fantastic production. Well, let's not forget Stephen Place, of course, that did a fantastic job gaining 9 positions. The Canadian driver finishing in P7. That was a great one. And Lee Green, the 666 car, had 12 positions gained. That's got to feel pretty good.
Well, I think Stephen may have a penalty incoming, partly because he's just put in chat. Slap down is needed for me, not fully reading the rules. Now, I think that goes back to that one pit stop that we were talking about. Obviously, we know, the timing software's had a bit of a mare tonight when it comes to off tracks, because you had people up at 30 odd and I had them at 20, and iRacing tells me they've only done 6 or something. So, at the end of the day, but I think we may have been correct that Mr. Stephen Place did not do the 2 pit stops.
There it is. I'll have to take that one back then, Steve. Sorry.
Yeah. So,
but yes.
There you go.
Well, James, I mean, obviously, how can everybody be part of this fantastic community? What buttons do they need to slap?
Well, if they head over to FBLcommunity.com, and over there you will find a Discord link, which will bring you down into the Discord server. Then you can put a message out to our one and only Sandro Cabela. He will tell you how to join the season. Obviously, we are into round 3 of 10 of the endurance. And we're on round 6 of 10 of the sprint as well, but it takes place on a Friday. So if you don't mind joining us late, you're more than welcome. You can as well. All links are down in the description in the YouTube channel. Don't forget, if you are watching live, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe, and turn on the bells for all the notifications. If you're watching it back as well, don't forget to hit the thumbs up, hit the bells, and turn on your notifications as well, because you're not going to want to miss any of the action. As I say, Nords next week in the sprint race, Biggles.
Yeah, what a track, isn't it? It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm hitting a notification bell, mate, and if I'm not casting something else, I'll be watching.
There you go.
Good luck to everybody on that one.
Absolutely amazing. But that is it, guys. That drives us to the end of the broadcast. And as always, much love to everybody that's joined us in YouTube chat. Thank you again for joining us. And also, don't click on the 18 link, because you end up seeing pictures of Biggles in a mankini in Austria.
No, it could be worse. I thought it was yourself in a hot tub.
Oh, mate, no.
Oh, that's the Twitch account. Sorry, that's the other one.
Yeah, that's the other one. You in a mankini hugging a koala or a kangaroo. That would be quite interesting.
Hey, that was one time, okay? And I thought you said we're going to delete that photo.
Well,
you promised me.
It's there forever, mate. I'm sorry, I can't get rid of it. But there you go, guys. That is it from us here, from myself and Biggles. Much love. Take care. And as always, you never know, we might see you on